the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. He's LeVar Arrington. I'm Jonas Knox. We are two pros and a cup of Joe. Normally you can hear us before the Dan Patrick Show, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 a.m. Pacific, alongside Brady Quinn. Brady Quinn is not with us today. So when LeVar and I just work, the two of us,
I'm black.
And I look like Dracula. So we are called Black and Drac. So you are getting a
He's
Black
Drac,
and Drac.
and I'm black.
A Black and Drac.
So we call the show
Racist.
Black and Drac.
Hey, it is what it is, man. All right?
Oh.
Racist.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got carried
racist.
away there. I don't even know
Racist.
what that voice was,
Hey.
to be honest.
It's all good. But
Come on back. It's Black and Drac. Black and Drac. It's Black and Drac.
This,
Good morning, everyone.
this Black and Drac edition of the show is going to take you all the way up until noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. You can listen on the iHeartRadio app. You can find us on hundreds of affiliates all across the country. You can watch live on YouTube as well. Just go to 2 Pros FSR on YouTube. You can watch the simulcast of this show as we are going to play some grab ass here for the next 3 hours, filling in for Dan and the guys.
And we hope you'll play along.
Yeah, why not?
You grab some ass, too, okay?
It's like that David Copperfield bit where we touch the screen, you remember? And the magic trick happens back in the day.
Dang.
What a scam that was.
Dang.
I don't want to make reckless allegations here to start the show, but it just seemed a little far-fetched that you could touch a screen and he knew exactly what you were going to touch through the TV. It's weird.
That was pretty cool, though.
It's great.
You know, even when he was in that coffin and it was full of water or whatever, and he was up in there, like, how did he get out of there? I
Yeah.
don't know. I just still don't know.
I
to
should
this
know.
day.
I'm Dracula. I should know.
You should, bro. You should.
Now, with that being said,
Yeah.
the NFL offseason is off and running.
Okay.
And the NFL offseason is filled with rumors. It's filled with reports. It's my favorite time of the year because after the dust settles and the draft is finished and free agency is over and we're getting ready for training camp, I love to go back and look and see at all the garbage everybody took in. We're all the DeLorean on Back to the Future. They feed us garbage and we just go. Like, you just shove whatever crap you can inside the gas gauge and we are off and running. And we are off and running with another wild bit of speculation when it comes to the NFL. Maxx Crosby, superstar for the Las Vegas Raiders.
DN.
He was talking on his podcast, the Rush podcast, with Caleb Williams. And they were just, giving each other love for about an hour, waxing poetically about their matchup and how great it was and how the potential and all these things that came along with it. And Maxx Crosby had this to say to Caleb Williams at the conclusion of the podcast. Let's take a listen.
Just to be open and honest, bro. Like we talked about it earlier, but respect at a different level, bro. You're one of those guys for sure, and you're just getting started.
Yep.
I don't even know you understand yet how good you can be.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just keep that mindset, keep doing what you're doing. We're locked in.
Absolutely.
Forever. So keep doing your thing, bro. You need me, hit
Same
me
to
at
you.
any time. It goes vice versa.
Now, that just sounded to me like a couple of NFL players with mutual respect who are on a podcast just saying nice things about each other.
He didn't have to go that deep with it, though.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool that he gave Caleb his propers like that on the podcast. I mean, sometimes guys are very self-absorbed, little arrogant.
Nah.
Yeah, a little out of touch with reality and how they see things. I thought it sounded and seemed like a genuine moment. And I've only had those things to say about people that I've played against or I've watched play that I really like. I like their game. I like something about how they are as a person. Whatever it may be, there had to be something connected to that person that made me feel such a way to be compelled to feel those types of things that Crosby said. And for what it's worth, he wasn't lying. Like, Caleb Williams probably doesn't even know how good he can be. And he is just getting started. And he can be a generational talent. and I want to play for the Bears with you, man. Come on, bring me on in, get me up out of here.
Okay.
Like let's cut through the shenanigans. Let's cut through all of it. And like, can you get me to Chicago, bro? Like, come on, man. Windy City, Maxx Crosby, Caleb Williams. Let's go.
All right. So this is the problem I've got with all this, because I get it. Maxx Crosby and Jay Glazer's reported on this. He's not thrilled with what has happened in Vegas.
And
let's
why
be honest,
would he be?
Exactly. Why would he be? I mean, it's been a little bit of a circus tent there, and not the good kind. And there's been all sorts of stuff that's gone on. Whatever plan they've had, it hasn't worked. It's just been a little bit of a disaster. And so he's frustrated. He wanted to continue to play. They shut him down. He felt like they were tanking. They're trying to get the number 1 pick. All of that is fair. But the problem I have with people assuming that, hey, he's being really nice to a guy on his podcast, so that must mean that guy's going to end up with the Bears, is the fact that the Raiders hold his rights. And Adam Schefter reported that the Raiders are going to be asking for something similar to Micah Parsons, 2 number 1s and a position player, a marquee player to go along with it for any trade with Maxx Crosby, and they don't want to trade him. So just because Caleb Williams is on a team that could use some pass rush help, because that was one of the Bears' issues, is they couldn't get to the quarterback. So just because he's on a podcast and the guy's being nice to him doesn't all of a sudden mean the Raiders are going to be like, hey, you know what? Upon further review, he was so nice to you and you guys get along so great, and he doesn't have a problem with the fact that you paint your nails. So what we're going to do is we're going to take less of a deal and we're going to trade you to Chicago to make you happy. The Raiders are going to be like, no, man, kiss my ass. You're going to go to where we're going to get the most value for you. And if that means we're going to send you to Carolina or New England or Chicago or Istanbul, who cares?
Who cares?
Like, whatever value you can get in return that's going to be the highest value, that's where they're going to trade him. It has nothing to do with Caleb Williams going on a podcast and those guys getting along. That's the part I don't get.
Well, here's the part you have to understand about what they did. It's a strategic play, because we all know that public opinion drives behind-the-scenes decisions too. And if this were, just like we talked about in a prior show about putting it out there first before the other side puts it out there, right? We were talking about C.J. Stroud, his representation, and the Houston Texans. They're putting it out there. Like the Houston Texans put it out there. We may be open. McShay put it out there that they could be open to trade discussions about C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is in the 4th year of his contract. This is that time where you actually are looking to extend and do that blockbuster deal that these guys are getting these days. That's the same situation here, Jonas. Maxx Crosby going on a show, and not only on a show, but a specific show, not only a specific show, but specific to a possible purpose of what he wants to ultimately get done. Getting out of Vegas is probably number 1. That's probably number 1 on the list, by the way.
Why would you want to do that?
Right. But then you see this up-and-coming team. Ben Johnson comes in, he lights it up his rookie year as a coach. You have this quarterback that can be the quarterback of the future in Caleb Williams. So you not only go on a show to talk about the possibilities of what your future holds and this and that, but you do it with Caleb Williams, who is the quarterback for he's already the best quarterback ever for the Chicago Bears already right now. Sorry, McMahon. Sorry, Grossman and
Jay Cutler
and Cutler.
Peter Tom Willis.
Sorry, fellas.
Jim Harbaugh.
Sorry.
Cade McNown.
Sorry. Who's the other dude that looked like Tony Romo? What's his name? He used to play. He's not too long ago. He was up in there. He was a draft pick. He was a high guy. What's his name? Come on.
Mitch Trubisky?
Trubisky. Doesn't he look like Tony Romo a little bit? If you think about it, they look like they could be
not bad.
Like stepbrothers or something. Like they got the same mom, maybe not the same dad, or same dad,
but
not the same mom.
You were telling me Trubisky would be a better broadcaster, though.
He would.
I think you said that before the show. Was that
Jonas?
You?
I don't know.
Look at it's going to be a quick slant. And they take a knee.
What happened there, Tony?
And they take a knee. They clock it.
He used to call him right. Anyway, it creates a conversation. And in today's culture, today's generation, you can be shaking ice out of a kid's T-shirt and making sure his legs aren't crazy wet and brush him off and have a good time with it. And everybody's going to talk about it. The littlest things everybody talks about.
What are you alluding to? Was that
MJ?
Oh, was that Jordan?
Yeah.
Is that
MJ.
what he was doing?
That's what they said. They said
I can't
because
believe
it was so much rain or something like that, and then the ice and stuff that was getting poured during the celebration, the kid got doused or got hit, whatever. Anyway, whatever your story is. But the point I'm saying is you put it out there, it gets. If it's something real, it gets consumed. If it gets consumed, it gets distributed. It gets pushed around. Then now all of a sudden something that you thought was a nothing becomes a something. This big conversation ensues. And now the Bears say, we may have a possibility here. It sounds like he really has a good, fine relationship with Caleb. If Caleb is good with it, let's try to make it work. Oh, on the Raiders side of it, you just fired another coach. Y'all suck. You're a very, very, very well represented, supported team. Your fan base has been crazy loyal to you in spite of. You're searching for that next New England Patriots scenario to play out. Maybe it's time to start anew. Maybe this helps you make the decision of we need to move on from Max. Yes, let's try to leverage it, get as much as we can to get out of it. But in the end, let's unload him and let's continue to build for what the future could possibly be. And that would be the reasons why you could see the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, potentially dealing him. And if you have a suitor that's already out there, then that makes it that much easier.
Right.
So I think that's the reason why you do something like this. No, they don't just do it just to do it. But I think in a situation like this, him outwardly praising Caleb the way that he did, I don't think it was disingenuous. I think it was very genuine, and I think it was very intentional.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was disingenuous either. I think there was a lot of – if you go back to the game they played against each other, Caleb Williams, I think, was quoted as saying afterwards, best – performance by a defensive player that he's been against in his life. I mean, Maxx Crosby was unbelievable in that game. And that was another game that the Raiders look at and go, how'd we lose that one? And the Bears look at and go, how'd we win that one? Well, the Raiders, you lost that one because that's what you do.
You're the Raiders.
It's what
it's
you
like
do.
The Browns. There's a couple teams out there. You'd be like, how they lose with that? Like, did you not?
I got to tell you.
Did you not hear what team they are?
You know what's the most popular slot machine in Las Vegas? According to all of the casino owners and the people that run those places.
Which one?
The Raiders, because people just keep putting money in them,
stupid.
and they get nothing in
You're
return.
so stupid.
Hey, go play the Raiders slot, everybody. Spin the wheel.
Dang.
Hey, another L came up. What do you know? But so
because you always think that next one's got to be the jackpot.
Right.
When you've lost that long for that much, you always think that the next one's going to be that jackpot is big as hell.
Yeah, of course. They got the car on top. Hey, get to this. It's a progressive.
They got a car. They got a picture to a house.
Oh,
Shouts out the Red Fire and Zillow.
But
you could get a $5 million, $10 million ranch.
You could, like a Lear jet if the Raiders win 7 games.
You're like John Travolta. You fly right from the crib.
So on Maxx Crosby.
Oh no!
Come on, spin the wheel.
Oh no!
Next thing you know, it's Dan.
I have no more money.
It's Daniel Carlson getting a kick blocked.
Oh damn!
But so Maxx Crosby, the game was unbelievable. They had a lot of respect for each other. All of that is fair. But the Raiders hold his rights. And last I checked, Maxx Crosby doesn't have a no-trade clause. So whatever podcast he wants to go on, and I'm sure he's got nice things to say about Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure he's got nice things to say about a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL, Josh Allen, et cetera, et cetera. Whoever gives them the best deal, because, again, reportedly they don't want to trade him, whoever's going to give them the best deal is going to be where they send Maxx Crosby. And it doesn't matter what he wants or how nice he's being. It doesn't matter. It's curling, It's a little weird. Like you're watching on TV, you're just wondering, what those cleaning ladies are doing. But it doesn't matter what he wants. It matters what the Raiders can get in return. So this is all fun. This is all a great story. But I just find it hard to believe that we can put 2 and 2 together and think that these guys are working behind the scenes to make a trade happen. If somebody comes away and blows the Raiders away with an offer, they're not going to give a crap that he likes Caleb Williams and had him on a podcast. They're going to try and get the most for him, as they should.
That's legit. I mean, there's no disputing that. I definitely find that to be a legit, conclusion to draw. But I also think that there's the idea of doing right by players that have done right by you. He has done right by this Raiders team.
Oh, 100%.
He's given it his all. He has been one of the most impactful, influential players in our league, in the history of the game, in fact. And for him to be in the situation, and I can sympathize with him, believe you me. I mean, it is nothing like
what do you mean?
Wasting good years of your hard work and belief.
He's unbelievable, man.
You believe in a team, you believe in the community, you believe in everything that's going on, and they just keep giving you bags of S. And then before you know it, now you're at a point in your career which he's really on the way to. I mean, he's not a spring chicken anymore. You're on your way to your better days, slowly getting behind you. And then now where are you at? Now you've given all your great years to this organization that just can't get right. And now you're too old to even put yourself in the type of position where you can have impactful conversations about going somewhere and actually being a real positive contributor to possibly winning that Super Bowl. Like that's what we all want, is to have the chance to win a Super Bowl, play your guts out, try to be an all-pro, make Pro Bowls, earn the respect of your peers, like what the love he gave to Caleb Williams, get paid along the way, maybe meet somebody who's really nice, get married, maybe you're already married, treat them right, whatever it is, and get some Super Bowl rings and potentially, hopefully, one day get called to Canton. That's everybody's dream, man.
Or if you run the MLBPA, hire her sister.
I mean, and get it done that way. You dig?
Batter up.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
So, I mean.
Too soon?
Hey,
R. Kelly's still in jail. I don't know if he's getting out either, but.
No, probably not. It seems like
parts of that group are still out. They could sing that song. I do think that was a public announcement with R. Kelly, though.
That's probably the best place for him at this point.
Dang.
Which, by the way, if you're watching, we appreciate you giving us a look on YouTube.
Check us out. We're live. We're live on YouTube, y'all.
Maxx Crosby's one of my favorite players in the NFL to watch.
Why? Up top.
Well, actually, I'd probably
up top.
You
Tell us why. Tell us why.
You can probably claim that one.
Where does it start? I mean, you're probably right.
We're being honest
here. You're probably right. I think he had me.
Hey, you know what?
I'm his brother as it gets. I think when I met him at the Super Bowl, I thought I think he had me.
I'll tell you what.
What?
Myles Garrett from Maxx Crosby.
Deal.
You saw it
Done
right
deal.
there, and you heard it.
I love me some Myles Garrett though, but I mean he don't even claim y'all. He claims Asian.
That is true.
He's in the Orient.
Hey, by the way, if anybody's wondering, yes, we'll go there.
Yes. Oh yeah.
At any moment, it could go off the rails like that. Yes. So, best of luck to Maxx Crosby.
We were talking about black and white players, by the way. And Maxx Crosby, he belongs to us.
Racist.
We
black. And Myles Garrett belongs to Drac. That's what just happened here. Just in case y'all were not interpreting what we just said.
And for those of you wondering, most famous transaction we've made on the show when Brady Quinn was here,
Babe Ruth.
Yeah, we traded Babe Ruth for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, we gave up Patrick Mahomes.
So I feel like that.
We got the Babe though.
That's a great trade. That's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, that's a win for everyone.
By the way,
worked out.
Trouble sleeping. Introducing Zcliner, the revolutionary recliner designed by FlexStill. The Zcliner was engineered with restful sleep in mind, making it an ideal bed alternative. You're unbelievable. A healthy life starts with a healthy night's sleep. Visit zcliner.com/DanPatrick today to find Zcliner at a store near you.
Sleep.
It is two pros and a cup of Joe filling in for the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. We're going to take you again all the way up until noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. We are going to have some fun stuff for you. We've got a segment called In Case You Missed It later on. We've got the leftovers, the usual shenanigans, and all the stuff you can expect when you listen to us before the Dan Patrick Show, Monday through Friday here on the network. And again, you can watch along simulcast on YouTube. Coming up next here, though, somebody got exactly what they wanted. They got exactly what they wanted in the world of sports. And if we're being honest, you got it as well. That's yours right here on FSR. Hey, by the way, you remember there was that NFLPA, NFL report card that came out. You remember where NFL players would basically
rated their facilities and stuff. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's gone. That'll not be happening any longer. The NFL won a grievance against the NFL Players Association, effectively banning the union from conducting and publishing future player report cards. The NFLPA announced that it will continue to do the report cards of players, but will keep those results away from the public.
Is that right?
So basically,
all right, give us the opportunity to hear how bad things are, and don't let anybody else hear it. Right?
Exactly.
That's,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The whole thing. Well, first of all, the fact that, the player, we're talking about, what the players are going to stand up for, and they're going to get this done and that done and all these other, and it's like, they can't even win this. They can't even, they lost this one too. But on the subject of the owners not wanting this stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, hey, by the way, you remember the player, we're talking about, what the players are going to stand up for, and they're going to get this done and that done and all these other, and it's like, they can't even win this. They can't even, they lost this one too. But on the subject of the owners not wanting this stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, yeah, we acknowledge that there are some problems, and we're not going to go get it fixed. We're just going to make sure nobody hears about it. It's like the whole thing makes no sense. I can understand.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
But it goes to show you the level of power and control that the owners still have and continue to have. And that's why when all these conversations come up about what players are going to get and the collective bargaining agreement and all these things that they need and all these things that they want, and it's an 18-game season, but we need this and we need that. It's like every time I hear that, I'm just reminded with little events that happen in between, negotiation to get a new deal done, and realize, dude, you can't even, like when the owners want something not to happen or to happen, they get their way every single time. And this is the latest example of it.
Well, because it's their league, Jonas. Until there is something that happens and takes place that creates the reason for a shift, so to speak. This is how it will continue to be. And you would have to assume if it hasn't already happened at this point, I mean, why would it ever happen? Why would it ever happen? I mean, there's no reason for it to ever happen where the players have just as much power, if not more power, than the owners. It just doesn't. I don't think it tracks that way. It's not the structure. Give the ownership, give them credit. They built a structure that, to me, it endures the test of time. And Whether people like it or not, whether people think it's fair or not, it's just what it is, man. And how does that change? You know, I really, again, why I think that it won't change is because if we haven't already had enough players of significant value, right, of significant value to have come through the doors of the National Football League to participate, to lend and lead to the league having more, the players having more of a say, it's never like there's never going to be a player more relevant than Tom Brady.
Right.
There's never going to be a player more relevant than Joe Montana. There's never going to be a player more relevant than you name it, right? Like you name it, Aaron Rodgers, whatever. So the idea of it to me is, if it hasn't already happened, I mean, Jonas, how do you ever justify it ever going in the direction of the player? I don't think it happens.
So the arbitrator who was on the case between the NFL and the NFLPA regarding these report cards, they said they found the report cards violated the collective bargaining agreement by, quote, disparaging NFL clubs and individuals. According to the memo, this from ESPN, the arbitrator found through hearings with the NFLPA's witness and counsel that the report cards were, quote, designed by the union to advance its interests under the guise of a scientific exercise. The NFLPA refused to produce data related to previous surveys, and the union's witness and counsel admitted the union cherry-picked topics and responses to include in the report cards. The memo also states that players had no role in the commentary included with the report cards, that it was written by union staffers, and that the union chose which anonymous player quotes to use or exclude. And the arbitrator also found that the union applied the weight to each topic and directly impacted the final alphabetical grade for each team. So, yeah, the NFLPA sort of skewed this in the direction of, hey, everybody, just so you know, these teams are doing a piss-poor job of this. These teams are doing a better job here. All of this stuff needs to get fixed. These are the issues. Here you go. And they rolled it out, and it made some headlines, and the owners are like, well, that's not fair. You can't do that. And, you know, took it to them. And now we're never going to get these reports to become public again. The NFLPA is basically come out and said, as we mentioned, we're still going to do them, but we recognize, yeah, maybe we violated the collective bargaining agreement to a certain extent. So all these things are going to be kept in-house.
Don't wanna complicate ya.
It is the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. Two pros and a cup of Joe sitting in for Dan and the guys. LeVar Arrington, Jonas Knox with you here. We will be having something we do called another edition of In Case You Missed It coming up here a little over 15 minutes from now. That'll be yours right here on FSR. But you know what? Right now, it is time for the Tire Rack play of the day.
Quinn Hughes shoots. He scores! He scores! Quinn Hughes in overtime wins it, and the United States will move on and face Slovakia in the semis.
So there we go. Courtesy of NBC on the call in overtime, the U.S. get it done. For over 40 years, Tire Rack's been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive, shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Well, all right.
Who doesn't love a little playoff hockey?
Gotta love it, man.
Little playoff hockey. You got the Americans.
They got hockey in Happy Valley. They call it Hockey Valley. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah, baby.
By the way, I think it's the first time the U.S. has beaten Sweden since 1960.
It's pretty dope.
Nearly gagged the game away, gave up a goal with about a minute and a half left.
That's all right.
But
that's competition.
We are slowly veering towards what NBC wants more than anything when it comes to this matchup.
What is it?
What-
The
what it-
USSR versus
No.
the Soviets?
Oh, that'd
versus,
be something, huh?
Nah, it's Canada.
Oh, yeah, U.S. versus Canada.
Yeah.
Now, Sidney Crosby did leave
You
the
like
game
the
with a lower.
USSR, though? You like that
Yeah,
pool?
I do.
Dang. All right.
Back in the day.
Up top.
Nikolai Volkov.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
man.
Remember him?
Absolutely.
Remember when him and the and your guy, the Iron Sheik?
The Iron Sheik,
I know
they
you're-
used to get it in.
I know you're a big fan of the Iron Sheik's work on radio. I know.
It's really good. It's really good. Rest in peace. The camel clutch, baby. Really good. Some people just have a talent for trash talking.
They
and,
do.
And, the Iron Sheik is one of them.
Yeah, they really do. So the U.S. is going to get Slovakia in the semis on Friday night. Canada is going to play Finland in the other. It would behoove the hockey gods at NBC to try and get us U.S. versus Canada.
Got to try to get it.
Look, I can remember watching the U.S. versus Canada game back in, I think it was 2010. And it was the game where Sidney Crosby scored the game winner, and it was bananas, just how fired up everybody got. Because, look, you could all have rooting interest for whatever team you want and kind of veer off into whatever directions. When everybody's on the same page rooting for the U.S. in a standalone big event like that, that's just fun for everybody. And plus, it gives us something to do, you know. On the weekend, we're looking for things to watch and discuss. I know you're a big fan of curling. Just sort of the athleticism it takes. But I'm hockey, you know.
I am a curling fan. I mean, the amount of focus, the amount of communication, the amount of wiping of the surface, the precision that's necessary and needed. I'm all about curling. All right, I really am. Especially women's curling. For some strange reason, I kind of like that a little bit more than the guys. And I'm a fan of hockey. I really am. Obviously, being from Pittsburgh, you have no choice but to have two very, very strong passions, and one being hockey outside of football. So to hear that the U.S. is doing well is awesome. We know how great hockey is in Canada. So to have that as a gold medal round matchup would be pretty phenomenal. I would assume it'd be must see television if it happened.
Yeah, I think that the one problem that we have with this stuff, because I'm trying to figure out if this is going. So it's 8 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday. All right.
Okay.
Not great.
That's really early.
Yeah, it's early.
Because that's 5 a.m. out here.
Yeah, and you know our friends in Hawaii, that's like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so like they've got to walk off, you know, out of a tiki bar and try and watch the U.S.
Or
and
just
it's
stay.
2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah, you just got to stay.
Oh, you
got to
stay. You got to go ahead and do it. Yeah.
So that's less than ideal, but it would lead to.
Do they play hockey in Hawaii? Do they have ice rinks? Do they have ice rinks in Hawaii?
I don't know.
Is that something that they be into?
I'm not sure. You know, I know our friends listening on, in the Tiki Torch of the Hawaiian Islands, Fox Sports 990.
What
our
up,
friends
Tiki
out there.
Torch?
You know, maybe somebody listening has the answer to that, but I'm not quite sure. I think that with the Winter Olympics, it's fun. It's a fun ride to watch these random events at random times during the day, but it's kind of like bowl season to where it's really cool to watch the 99-cent store on a Tuesday, a 99-cent store bowl on a Tuesday at noon randomly during the holiday season. And then at a certain point you just get to where you're like, all right, can we get to the big events? Like this is all awesome and it's great to have these matinee football games and it's great to have these, but let's get to the real deal here. And I feel like the real deal is hockey, to where it's sort of separating itself, to where it's got recognizable names that you can look at and go, all right, that's somebody we're going to watch potentially in the regular season after this is all said and done. And so if we could land ourselves on U.S.-Canada in the gold medal game, apologies to Slovakia and anybody else that could get in the way. If we could just land that on Sunday and give people something to wake up to get fired up for, I think that's the best conclusion for all this stuff here. You know, when it comes to this.
I don't have a valid argument or, you know, kind of come back to say why it wouldn't be. You know, I think the U.S. obviously our voting interest is wanting to have the U.S. in it. Would you say, without having the numbers in front of me, you would say that the most players in the NHL are from Canada and the United States?
I don't know about that.
Let's look
as far as the splits go.
Let's look it up.
I'm not sure. But that is kind of an interesting dynamic. And I know you played in a couple of different Pro Bowls. You played in 3 Pro Bowls. Like to the idea of going from, because there's been a lot of conversation about the NBA All-Star Game and whatever you called those team names they rolled out with. As we talked about on our show, the Pro Bowl is the worst. It's absolutely awful. We were there in San Francisco during Super Bowl week. Watching it on television, it looked like they dropped really good football players in a claw machine, and people were just trying to move them around. It was weird. Like everyone's moving it around with the joystick, and it didn't make any sense, and it didn't look like football. But that's what the Pro Bowl was. But I do wonder what the dynamic is like, because in the Pro Bowl, when you were playing, that was the last game of the season, correct? Like that was after the Super Bowl.
Yes, right.
So,
immediately after, and yes, I was correct. The Canada actually holds the largest number, percentage-wise, of players in the NHL.
Hey.
And the United States at 42% of the league, and then the United States follows with a roughly 28 to 29%.
There we go.
Sweden being in third. So.
Now, the one problem for Canada is they can't get a Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup.
Dang, they came close.
But you know, they
came very close.
They did. They came close, just not close enough. But so when you were playing in the Pro Bowl, that was the last game of the year, right? So after that game, it's not like you had to team up with these guys again.
No, that's it.
With the Olympics, you've got to continue the last part of the regular season.
Yeah.
And so how do you just flip the switch from, hey, these are rivals, now they're teammates, to now they're rivals again, and you go back to your teammates? Like,
well, those are extraordinary circumstances, right? Like, if you think about it, I think that it would be a welcomed vacation away from the regular season grind, because it is a grind.
Especially that Olympic Village, from what we've heard.
I mean, all them rubbers been used, 10,000 rubbers.
Good God.
Sent over there, prophylactics for safe sex.
Gone.
Out of there. And they're promising to have delivered more, which means that it's just all kinds of, I don't see nothing wrong.
I mean,
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Like, you know how many
with a little bumping grind.
You know how many sea animals are walking around with one of those things on their head now because somebody threw it in a lake near Italy? It's crazy. People are worried about plastic straws and turtles. How about the fact that thing's just swimming around with a rubber on his face?
Dang.
What were you
Hey,
saying?
Mommy, look at the duck. Look at the duck. Look at the seagull, Mommy. Look at what is look away, honey.
Mommy,
look away.
Mommy, why does that seagull look like he's about to rob a bank? But
what is that? What is that pelican giving birth to? What is that?
But yeah, I can imagine, you know, the break in the middle of the season is fun, but these are hard games. So, and I could also understand why some owners would not maybe want the players to participate in this in the middle of the season. If I was owning an NHL franchise, I probably wouldn't want to send my players off to go chase their Olympic dreams.
Don't you think by now they know that that's a part of it? By now the owners have a firm grasp and hold of understanding that this is a part of it.
Okay, if Sidney Crosby is
goes
affected,
and gets hurt.
well, he had a lower body injury. He left the game yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying, but it's hockey. Lower body injury could be, you know, the guy got, you know, severed at the hip, you know, by
a blade.
Like he fell on, you know, on a tractor, and they're like, it's a lower body injury. He should be available next game.
Dang.
But if he's impacted the rest of the season, the Penguins are much better than anybody thought they would be this year. They thought it was, you know, rebuild. We got to close it up. Crosby, Malkin, Letang, all these guys got to.
Great names.
And then now all of a sudden they're in the mix.
Do you put Malkin and Crosby on Lemieux and Yager? Do you put them on that level? They're pretty high.
Yeah.
Not as many Stanley Cups.
No,
though.
they do.
Tied 3 for 3.
Crosby and Malkin have 3, and
Yammer and
2.
2. I thought they had 3.
No, they had 91 and 92.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lemieux had way more than 2, though.
No,
right?
he had finished with 2.
Only 2.
Yeah. Well, listen, he got the.
Dang,
you
I
know,
thought we had more than that.
he got sick and he left, and a lot of people think if that didn't impede him, he would have been the greatest ever. There's still some people think Lemieux's the greatest player of all time. Like still some.
Who is the greatest? Is it Gretzky?
Gretzky.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he had every number, but until
Wayne Gretzky's a
Ovechkin.
bad mother.
Oh,
effer,
he's
man.
awesome. And that was back in the day.
Is Sid the Kid and Ovi, are they a better duo and tandem for this era of hockey than Lemieux and Gretzky?
Oh,
I don't think you could say no, even if you can't fix your face to say yes.
But it is. You mentioned the 2 stars for the Penguins. It is kind of wild that they had it then and they've got it now.
Yeah,
and have had it for all those years.
But that's what we are as Pittsburgh. We have this weird ability to recreate.
It's kind of like Green Bay with quarterbacks.
It's like Green Bay with quarterbacks.
Like they just do it better. It's like the Bears with linebackers. They just do it better.
The Steelers with linebackers. Come on.
I
I mean, y'all had Buckus and Urlacher. Who else? I mean, I know Briggs and all of them, but I'm saying
Mike Singletary.
Mike. Yeah, hell yeah.
Otis Wilson.
Otis Wilson. That's safety.
Wilbur Marshall.
Linebacker.
Yeah.
He's nice. But come on, man. Like the steel curtain. Like Jack Lambert.
So let me rephrase.
On,
Middle linebackers, the Bears have got that on lock. But linebacker tandems, the Steelers,
like
with Lloyd
and Green.
Yeah, they've got that.
Come on.
Correction.
Gilden and
mistake.
Joey Porter.
Honest mistake.
Joey Porter and James Harrison.
Yeah, honest mistake. You mentioned Lance Briggs. He doesn't get enough credit.
He does not get enough credit. In fact, I think he had a Hall of Fame career.
He's unbelievable.
He should get into the Hall of Fame.
Him and Peanut Tillman, you can argue Hall of Fame careers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But digressing, I think it is a welcomed getaway from the monotony of being in a season that has so many games. You get an opportunity to represent your homeland. You get the opportunity to be in Olympic Village as a professional, even though you're doing, in some cases, what would be considered to be amateurism in competition and being in the Worlds, even though that's just something for us as the United States, well, up until not too long ago. But I think that they enjoy it. I think it's a good getaway. And then you come back and man, like you can share stories about what you're experiencing. They're probably hanging out together out there, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's I think that it's okay, and I think that the owners don't have such a hard stance on wanting them to be a part of it because it's good for them too. Them having success there is good for business for them, with their franchises back here.
I would imagine you being a multiple-time Pro Bowler going to Hawaii all those years that, some of those stories you don't share when you come back.
Why not? Just depending on who you share them with.
Well, hey.
Some people get to hear it all. I mean, well, maybe not all of it.
Yeah, they sure do.
I don't know.
It is.
I wouldn't know. I just went to the Pro Bowl, sat by the pool, and then went and played in the game and came back home. Like that was really. As a Blue Chew commercial pops up.
Yeah, that is perfect. It is
had to remind me of myself.
The Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio.
That was a time where I didn't need Blue Chews, by the way, y'all. I didn't need Blue Chew back in the day when I was going to Pro Bowls. But I need them now, and make sure you get a hold of some Blue Chews.
And while you're grabbing that, why don't you stick around because we have another edition of In Case You Missed It, and it's yours right here on FSR. Ratings are up. 8.8 million viewers across NBC, Telemundo, and Peacock. And it peaked at 9.8 million. So up significantly over recent years. And now here to kill the positive momentum of the NBA and their ratings increase, Braden T. Quinn?
Yeah, a little bit of a misnomer, apples to oranges comparison here. The NBA All-Star Game was on TNT in the past, and that's a cable channel. And for people out there who don't understand how the TV business works, you have broadcast channels and cable channels, right? Cable channels you pay for a subscription to. Broadcast, you can actually tune in, especially with these smart TVs now. And if you don't know how, you can go on YouTube. You can figure this stuff out, how to tune in to some of your broadcast channels so you don't have to pay for it. But the difference is actually significant in the amount of viewers who you're able to reach on a broadcast channel, which is what the All-Star Game was on most recently. NBC, Telemundo, also streaming on Peacock. So really the combination of all three was a much, much easier way to find the game and watch the game, consume the game. NBC alone, the broadcast channel, has a reach of about 126 million people or more. TNT, for example, what the All-Star Game was on in the past, the cable channel, only 71.2 million. And that number's been going down as people continue to cord cut. Yeah, some of those people go elsewhere, but some may just not watch it altogether. So it appears to be up, but also this is a move that a lot of TV networks are doing in order to inflate some of those numbers by putting more of the live content on the broadcast channel, since there's a much wider net and hopefully catching or capturing some of the viewers. So again, it looks good in the ratings because, hey, they're back up. It was a big night, but in reality, it's just a lot more people were probably able to tune in and watch, and with nothing else on to watch, they most likely watched for a little bit, which I would tell you this. I was one of those people, tuned in for a little bit, and I swear to God, we went right back to watching the bobsledding.
Jeez.
Yeah. Which, okay, on that note, and we're not there yet for the Winter Olympics update, Colin Jost put out a video. If you have not seen this, you got to check it out. So he gets into a two-man bobsled, and they've got a camera mounted on the back of this thing, and it gives you a real perspective of what it's like going down in that bobsled. It is terrifying to watch how fast that thing is flying. And so when you're watching like how they're trying to drive it and steer it down there, it gives you a perspective of like, oh my gosh, that is ridiculously difficult. And you can see why they get offline just a little bit. So if you can get a chance, go check this out. It gives you a greater perspective of just how hard it is to drive one of those things and not hit the sides and not just completely fly off the course altogether.
It's pretty crazy. I did you guys remember Superstars Challenge on, I think I want to say ABC Sports, where they brought athletes from different backgrounds together and they competed to see who was the best.
Yeah.
Well, we ended up losing. Bodie Miller, the downhill skier, he ended up winning, and he beat me because I'm scared of heights. But going over that wall for the obstacle course, I was good going up. I just wasn't good coming down.
Really?
Yeah, I was scared.
Huh.
That thing was way up there. It's like, I don't know how tall it was.
And Brady made you walk all those hills in San Francisco to get to dinner.
Isn't that crazy?
That's just disrespectful,
sad, man. Sad.
That was for exercise. I knew we were going to put on a feed bag, so I want to make sure we got some calories burned off.
I mean, you put on a lot of calories that night. I was blown away. Anyway, so the one of the guys did the skeleton or whatever that was there. He definitely couldn't compete with us physically, like running and lifting and all that stuff. But, you know, we were sitting around one time and we were just talking and talking about the different sports that we do and this and that and whatever. And he started explaining, like, how intricate it is to be, you know, on the skeleton, and how basically you're going head first with this little sled under you, and you're going at crazy speeds, these high speeds, going around these turns, and you have to direct it. And I was like, help me understand, because I'm trying to understand, if you're going fast and you're head first and you're hitting these different, you know, different turns, how exactly are you controlling it? And basically it's like, it's through repetition. You have to be able to, through repetition, start to memorize what the course is so that you know, like, okay, I got to feel the lean this way. I got to feel the lean that way. All right, this is straight away. We got to put it head down. And he just was explaining the small details and
like,
intricacies.
Use your feet
and
to,
you,
like,
bro,
even yourself out. Yeah.
It was, I mean, it scared me listening to him.
And by the way, to further this point, this is your NBA All-Star Game update.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
We started talking about downhill, yeah.
Because it's more interesting. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Next hour, we're
It's
going to
just
talk
more
a little
interesting.
over 10 minutes now.
Hey, it's better than the
We're
Pro
going to tell
Bowl.
you about somebody who took a job in the NFL and clearly doesn't know the people they'll be working with. Clear evidence of that. That'll be yours again, top of next hour, a little over 10 minutes from now. Before we get to something we do on our show called In Case You Missed It, want to make sure to let you know to check out our brand new YouTube channel for the show and go there right now. We are live. Just search 2 Pros
My obese
FSR
ass. I'm looking so
on
big.
YouTube. Again, that's 2 Pros
Overweight.
FSR. Be sure to hit the subscribe button.
Dang.
Don't stop there. Hit the thumbs up icon and comment away. Let us know who on the show you agree with, who you think is wrong. But check out our new channel on YouTube. Again, just search 2 Pros FSR and subscribe.
Sometimes you can't get to everything in the world of sports or entertainment. Good thing the guys are here to bring you In Case You Missed It.
And for that, we turn it over to our executive producer, the one and only Patrick Suika. Patty Speaks!
Hey! Beefaroni cowboy.
Well, howdy, Var. What
How you
up,
doing?
Jonas?
Dang.
Oh, dang. What's up, guys?
They got him in the box.
I'm in
Dang.
the box. Let's go.
Dang.
Let's go, dang. Well, it's time for In Case You Missed It, boys.
This is my nightmare.
Well, you know what? We said this is my nightmare. This is my nightmare because this is my In Case You Missed It. My Seahawks are formally and have now announced that they're going to be selling.
Oh, it's Patty's in the box.
I'm in the box.
I mean, what better time to sell?
Seahawks are in the box, too.
So Seattle, this is official, right? This is going to happen?
It has formally been announced that they are in the process of selling the team. The estate of Paul G. Allen is reportedly expected to fetch and I quote, record-breaking price for an NFL franchise.
Oh, wow. So it's in the 7-8 billions then.
They're projecting it to go in 7 and 8 bill. It would top the
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
currently going to top the 6.05 bill the Commanders previously had.
Yeah, wow.
7 to 8 mil is what we're looking at here, guys.
And if we're being honest, Danny had to give up Danny Snyder had to give up $50 million in fines and punishment.
I
for
mean,
that.
give up $100 million. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Like,
You know how many?
what's he?
You
up
know
to?
how many more millions
Hey,
you got?
You know what he should do just to be a ball buster? Dan Snyder should put in a bid to buy the Seahawks. That's what he should do.
How do the
No.
taxes work? How do the taxes work on a acquisition like that? You pay $6 billion, $6.5 billion.
I drive a 2006 Tacoma. What
Yeah,
do
you
I
do.
know?
Yeah, never mind. Okay, go ahead. Keep
What do
moving
I know?
on.
I
Go
just
ahead.
don't wanna
What,
pay it.
what you
What do I
got,
know?
Patty?
All right,
You're
so-
right. We're right. That's out of our. Yeah, let's move on.
All right, so I got an Olympic one here. So we have an Austrian ski jumper named Daniel
Sawdoff.
Who cares?
So whatever.
Daniel
so,
Sawdoff, huh?
So the guy's kind of dumb here. He went skiing and he was disqualified because he had oversized boots which went about an inch or so over the projected what you're supposed to wear for
love this.
skiing.
I don't understand.
Disqualified.
What's the problem?
I just don't understand.
It's like these fishermen that put little weights inside the fish they catch to win tournaments. Like, how bad do you want it? What are you willing to do to win?
You got to try.
Yes.
Some people said if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Now, LeVar, as a guy with giant feet,
Yeah. I'm
How-
offended by this story.
what
I'm offended, terribly offended.
gives, man?
My feet should be able to be left alone. They should be able to fly too. If you know what I mean.
Manute Bull wouldn't even stand next to LeVar.
Catch one of these sneakers in your mouth.
What kind of
Dang.
up? It's Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
No pain, no gain, and I have dished out a lot of pain.
I played the game. The rules are still the same.
Hey, America, you want some sports? We got it for you.
Two Pros and a Cup of Joe is three guys talking sports, having some fun, and a great way to wake up in the morning.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of stats for us to get through right now.
We're here to break it all down for you.
I always hear that defense wins championships, but LeVar, I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. It's just one of those shows that gives you that feeling of, I'm talking to my friend anywhere you may be, a sports bar, a living room. As different as we are, it works.
When he scores his first touchdown, what will the celebration be?
It might just be a spike.
Yes.
He's going to derobe first.
Jeez.
They set their wedding date on the day of the Super Bowl, and the groom's trying to move the wedding now to get out of it so he can go see the game. Is he in the wrong here?
Let that man use them tickets.
Unbelievable.
We're like those three best friends that grew up together.
We developed a chemistry. In case you missed it, LA's finest, that's right, everybody's favorite. Apparently he had a few too many drinks last night. This guy's got a little bit of an issue here, huh?
Call a taxi.
I hear he has a weird infatuation with elevator rides.
There we go.
We're three brothers and we look identical.
Oh, wow. Really?
I totally agree.
Yeah. Wrap it up, let's go.
My guys.
Yes! Two Pros.
And a Cup of Joe.
More sports, more fun.
Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. He's LeVar Arrington. I'm Jonas Knox. In for Dan and the guys. You can listen to us, as always, on the iHeartRadio app. You can find us on hundreds of affiliates all across the country, and we are going to be taking you all the way up until noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. You can listen to LeVar and myself alongside Brady Quinn weekday mornings, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 o'clock Pacific, for Two Pros and a Cup of Joe before the Dan Patrick Show. So get a couple extra hours of sleep here on this Thursday morning.
Catch our podcast. Yeah. Seems like y'all catching our podcast, and this might not be our normal audience, but thanks to all of our normal listeners that have made our podcast such a success. So appreciate the continued support.
It's awesome. Numbers came out, and we are grateful and appreciative. Everybody's supporting the show. Also want to let you know that if you want the vibe of a drink, that smooth, warming kick, especially on game day, without the hangover, that's RK Zero Proof, world's first zero-proof spirits with their patented warm molecule, same feel, zero alcohol, all the cheers, none of the regrets. Try it at rkzeroproof.com. So, Declan Doyle is the youngest coordinator in the NFL. He was hired by the Baltimore Ravens. He spent a year as the offensive coordinator for the Bears under Ben Johnson, who called the plays and ran the show, but Declan Doyle was brought on because they thought he was a very up-and-coming and promising offensive mind and somebody they wanted in the building there in Chicago. And so he gets hired by the Ravens, bit of a surprise. They went with a guy who hadn't had experience at this level calling plays before, or calling plays, period. And he was brought on, and he had an introductory press conference yesterday in Baltimore in which he talked about the expectation he has for Lamar Jackson and the rest of his players with voluntary workouts coming up. Let's take a listen.
We would expect him to be here, and certainly it is voluntary. And so, but it's also, if you want to say that you're going to win a championship, you want to say that you have championship standards and those are your goals and your expectations, certainly that's going to take work, that's going to take collaboration, that's going to take the beginning of building the relationship with their coaches, other players, starting off this next regime on the right foot. And so that would be those guys getting in here, us being able to work with them hands-on and be able to kind of get this thing going in the direction that we want to, and making improvements so that we set ourselves up where when we come back in for training camp, we hit the ground running, and we already have kind of shared knowledge, shared language, and we're able to go right to work.
Voluntary workouts, but he expects him and the other guys to be there. I'm not sure if he's familiar with the way that Lamar Jackson operates. Okay, I'm not sure if anybody filled him in on the fact that Lamar kind of moves at his own pace, moves at his own speed, operates and negotiates contracts the way he does it, maybe differently than anybody else because he doesn't have an agent. And if you may or may not see him outside a lunch truck in Baltimore, and it looks like, he's been walking the Green Wolf for about 48 hours straight. Like, listen, he operates in a different way. But for Declan Doyle to come in, and I get why he would want those guys to be in the building and be a part of this whole thing. I can't imagine that's going to entice Lamar Jackson or veterans to want to stop what they're doing and all of a sudden come in because the brand new offensive coordinator says, I have expectations for you to show up even though they're voluntary.
So when my older brother used to tell me things I had to do when we were growing up, you know what I would do? I'd laugh at him. Like, what? Who are you talking to, bruh?
Talking to your ass.
I do it when I feel like doing it. Why is that? Why is that relevant? Well, my older brother is 3 years older than me, my elder. And I still was like very comfortable with knowing that because he's my brother and we're so close in age, I ain't got to do anything you tell me to do. You know how old Mr. Declan Doyle is? 29 years old. You know how old one Lamar Jackson is?
How old?
29 years old. He can't be 29. How old is he?
He's 29. Same age, man.
Is he 29?
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
He's 29.
Lamar Jackson is 20. That's crazy. I didn't think he was that old. They're the same age. Like, you have this youth movement taking place in the National Football League. And most likely you're seeing guys that are the same age as their players. I just wonder what, like, I always used to say, like, man, they bring these old-ass coaches in here and da-da-da, like, what's this all about? But when you think about it, now that they're bringing in – I'm sorry, Mike. Maybe I should leave old people alone. But I'm just saying. People – When like, Mike, you look like you could be my Uncle Mike.
He just
like,
got vanilla skied.
Hey, Mike, you look like you could be my Uncle Mike. I'm just saying. Do you treat your cousin the same way you treat your uncle? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't treat my uncles the same way I treat my cousins. So it's like when you come in and you're setting a tone, he has to come in to try to set a tone. As a coach, you want to come in, you want to try to set a tone. I just wonder at what cost, at what expense is it going to take for him to be able to set a tone at 29 years old, and you're wet behind the ears. You're a new energy, a new personality in the mix with somebody who's a multi-MVP winner, has had great success, and is so beloved by the community and the city and the franchise. What are you going to do if Lamar Jackson snickers at you and laughs it off like, I'll be here when I get here? That's what I've always done.
And that's the part I wonder about, because his relationship with Declan Doyle is the most important. They hired Jesse Minner, who's a defensive guy. And if we're going based on where Declan Doyle was previously, like, Ben Johnson was really, really hard on Caleb Williams and was really outspoken and critical, sometimes publicly, of him, and would get on him. And Caleb Williams has talked about it, but he was working with him day in and day out closely. And you talked yesterday on the show about how quarterbacks move differently in the building, and Ben Johnson was his guy. That's sort of how they're connected. That's what the Bears wanted, and they should have won it, because it's going to be hopefully lasting them for the next decade plus, those two together. But in this case, I wonder, Declan Doyle's brought in to be the one closest to Lamar Jackson from an offensive mind standpoint. He's not the head coach. That relationship is paramount with the Ravens organization. And so when the guy comes in and the first thing he says is, I don't care if it's voluntary, they need to be here. And you're a veteran player who probably doesn't show up to the voluntary workouts. And if you're Lamar Jackson, dude, you can't even get the guy to practice every single day of the week. You know, training camp, preseason, like whatever.
It doesn't mean you don't come in and try to set a tone.
Well,
and listen, maybe he's already had this conversation behind closed doors.
Okay,
I would say it's wise to have had this conversation behind closed doors. Don't come out with an iron fist. We had this conversation about Schottenheimer with the whole reorganizing and doing this with the locker room and this and that. We saw how that turned out. But don't come in ruling with an iron fist publicly. If you're going to be an iron fist type of guy, like, this is what it's going to be, this is how it's going to be, this is how we're going to do it, this is why we're going to do it, you had better build that bond and set that tone and that standard behind closed doors.
That doesn't work anymore these days? That iron fist sort of talk down to players? And
it isn't really recognized. It's not comprehensible by today's athlete, today's kid.
Are they touched?
They're touched, man. They're touched. That's cringe. You come at somebody with the iron fist, that's cringe. Like, I used to think when you came at me with the iron fist, it was literally an iron fist. Like, I'm going to get spanked. If you're told this and you don't do this, the consequence is an ass whipping coming after it. That it's not like that anymore. Like, there is no real consequences to, clean your room. Like, you didn't clean your room. Well, okay, are you going to clean it now? No. I'm going to take your your devices from you. Like, okay, you figure out something else to do. I'm going to take that, what you figured out, what else to do. Okay, like, I'll just sit here and be bored. But so what? I still didn't clean my room. Where you go from there? If you physically, like, spank them, you still didn't really get anything. You didn't get anything out of it other than feeling bad about spanking your kid.
My son's 4 years old. I threatened him one time, and he slashed my tires. Like, it's a new day, man.
Yeah, so the whole iron fist, everybody's going to be here. I expect everybody to be here. No, what you have to do is you have to be creative in how it is that you go about working with the professionals that are under your watch and under your care. You got to build the bond. This era of athlete, if you build a bond, like, hey, Lamar, like, let's go get some food from your food truck. Hey, Lamar, you smoking? Like, all right, like, I might not smoke the green lettuce, but I smoke cigars. Like, let's go, Chief. You got to go meet these people on their grounds.
So if you were advising Declan Doyle, you would tell him to go smoke weed with Lamar Jackson.
Why not?
All right.
Hey, listen.
You imagine Steve Bisciotti telling him
Don't do drugs.
Only if that's what you do. Only if that's what you do. If you're Declan and you smoke weed, go smoke weed with your. You got a couple players that are your main guys. Go have a drink with them. Go have a beer with them. Go kick it with them. Like, oh, you going on vacation over here to the Bahamas? I'm coming. I'm bringing my wife. We're going to hang. Like, I'm coming through. We good? Then you build a relationship, and I'm over embellishing. Obviously, I'm not.
It's a bummer.
But I mean, if I was your coach, like, I'm not going to not be who I – like, you want to know the biggest mistake coaches make is being something and someone they're not. You could get away with that when you could tell somebody, get the F out of here, you stupid mother effer, da-da-da. Look at what happened in Atlanta. I told you that offensive coordinator was a D-bag to his players. I told you that.
Yeah.
Where are they at now? Gone.
Yeah, it's a good point. Why don't you take a victory lap on that? You put us up on game, and Brady Quinn dismissed it.
I told y'all behind the scenes.
Which he never does, okay?
I told y'all behind the scenes that the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons did not know how to talk to his players. Did I tell y'all that? I said it on air.
Yeah.
I said, you're going to run into issues because the dude doesn't know how to, like, the way he was talking to grown-ass men. You talk to me the way he was talking to them dudes, and we out on the street, I'm going to punch you in your mother effing mouth. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to punch you right in your mouth. I'm going to pop you. Like, stay in your place, bro. Like, I don't know what you think this is, but what you're not going to do is talk to me like I'm less than a man. I got to get up just like you get up. I got to come to work and put it in just like you do. Don't talk to me that way. And that's old school. That's me as an old school player. These new school players, they just shut down. They shut down. Like, oh, mother F me. You stupid mother effer. Get out of here. We don't, da-da-da, this and that. They shut down. And you know what happens? Because all these cats is so cool and they all on the same page, it's like a power outage. Like, wait, the lights aren't on. You caused the power outage. You talking to cats the way you're talking to them. You not show. The worst thing you could do is show them you don't care. If you show this era athletes you don't care, they're going to check out. And they don't care. Like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, don't you still want to win? I can't function. Can't function right. Mental health used to be you're weak. Used to be like emotional sensitivities. Used to be you're weak. You know what they are now? It's power. It's empowerment. My mental health matters. My emotional stability matters. My happiness matters. And if you infringe on that, then you've gone down a road that you should not go down. It's inappropriate. It's not acceptable. nor will it be tolerated. And our society backs that up now. They back it up, Jonas. So if you come in talking crazy to cats, they shut down. You're not going to get results. So while I'll say the tone of it, I'm not going to say the tone of Declan is that of a tyrant, but the reason why I believe they're bringing in younger coaches to coach these guys is that you got to have guys that understand how these guys are wired emotionally.
By the way, can you imagine telling our parents, hey, we need a mental health break growing up?
Bro.
I can imagine my dad telling me, like, hey, come help me clean the chicken coop. No, Dad, I need a mental health break.
You said mental what?
He'd literally spray me in the eyes with Raid.
I'll show you mental health, boy. Go get the belt.
Yeah.
What? Wait, hold on. I'm going to get spanked for that.
In fact, don't get the belt. Get the yard rake.
Hey, now I'm getting spanked. Well, what are you spanking me for, Dad?
Hey, Dad,
You're making excuses.
Hey, Dad, we live in California. Why do we have a snow shovel?
No.
Next time you need a mental health break, that's why. It's weird.
Hey, man.
Game has changed, man.
My dad has 2 prosthetic limbs, like they're wooden. You knock on them bad boys, right? Give him, I need a mental health day. I need a day off. I'm drained. This and that. That man knock on his legs. You think I get an emotional day? You think I get a mental health day? You think I get a mental health day?
Big Mike.
Let's not have any excuses. Let's have a not have excuses day today. And listen, I raised my kids hard. I'll say I turned out well. Like, I don't take days off. I'm dependable. I'm on time. I like the way he raised me military. I handle things military. I'm very regimented. Was there some sacrifice there? Yeah. Like, are we super tight? We're tight as father, son, but are we like tight? Like, kind of, not really. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, for me, you got to approach it the same exact way in the football world in terms of the understanding of who it is that you're guiding. If you're not authentically who you are, and you don't establish that rapport and that bond and that connection with each, and this is the crazy thing, with each one of those players that are under your watchful eye. And I would go as far as to say, even if I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm building that relationship with defensive players too. I'm building a personal relationship with every single player that comes in that building that plays for us, because that's how today's athlete operates.
And I do wonder also, if you're Declan Doyle and your most recent example is, as we mentioned, the Ben Johnson-Caleb Williams relationship. Caleb Williams and Lamar Jackson are in completely different spots in their career. When Ben Johnson got to Chicago, there was conversations, Caleb Williams is a bust, he's this, he's that, you can't win with him. He had to basically
all from Jonas.
No, that's not. He had to basically break him down and build him up again. Lamar Jackson's already got 2 MVPs.
Yes.
He's got hundreds of millions of dollars. He's a superstar, and now you get a guy whose most recent example is how Ben Johnson coached up Caleb Williams. And we've talked about it before. The Belichick disciples, for the most part, never really worked because they tried to be Belichick. As you mentioned, you got to be yourself. And I just wonder,
be yourself, man.
I just wonder if he's taking the approach that, well, Ben did this with Caleb, I'm going to do it with Lamar, and it's 2 completely different situations.
It's a baby. Caleb's a baby. It's a baby. He's a babe in the league. And Lamar is a battle-tested, hardened, experienced vet. But he's a new school vet, though. Again, the best thing you could do is become best friends with. You know who has the perfect blend of best friend, but it better be respect. Like, we could lock it up. Like we could go in the back room and lock it up. I remember one time, just super quick story. I slapboxed when I was a head coach. One of my players, he only understood fighting. Fighting was the only way to communicate with him. So when I realized, I was like, let's go over here real quick, man. Come on. We slapboxed. Old school, old style slapbox. Like, let's go, right? So now you're not looking at me like at this old, decrepit dude that's coaching you. It's like, he touched my head like 3 times in the first 1 minute of us slapboxing. like, I touched your head. You know what that means, right? If we was really slap boxing, I slapped the hell out of you. Like, your face would be slapped. And I'm sitting there and I'm moving on him, and my hand speed was too good for him. And after that, our bond, our ability to communicate was different. He's like, oh, wait, you're like me. Like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you. We're not different. We're the same. And we should want the same things. You connect on that level, right? Mike Vrabel. That's the perfect blend of I guarantee you Mike Vrabel will be like, oh, you feel like you could whoop me.
Vrabel broke up a fight in training camp and got bloodied.
Let's go in the weight room. Let's hit this. Let's get. I'm not telling you to go lift the weights. I'm going in with you. Let's get this workout in.
Dan Campbell's another guy.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Former players. But just have a real sense of what connecting to your players represents. You got to be careful on things like that, especially when you have established vets.
It's the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. He's LeVar Arrington. I'm Jonas Knox. In for Dan and the guys. Coming up next here, though, we're going to tell you about, if true, why this makes somebody potentially the biggest weirdo in all of sports. And that's yours next here on FSR. But you know what? Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road, and they're responsible for everything: acceleration, braking, steering, and handling. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you know exactly what you want or you're looking for expert recommendations, Tire Rack makes it easy. You're going to get fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, and convenient installation options, including mobile installation, where they bring the installation to you, to your home, office, or anywhere in between. And of course, the best selection including the full line of Yokohama tires. And they don't just sell tires, they test them on the road and on their test track. Learn how the tires you want tackle evasive maneuvers, drive and stop in the rain, or just handle your everyday commute. Go to TireRack.com/Dan to see their Yokohama test results, tire ratings, and consumer reviews. And be sure to check out all the current special offers. That's TireRack.com/Dan. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Derek Carr, who needs everything to be just right if you want to see him back on the field.
That's right.
Here he was talking about a potential return to the NFL after that heartfelt retirement that he gave less than a year ago. But here was Derek Carr on the Homegrown podcast talking about his potential return.
Would I do it? Yes, obviously. Would I do it for anybody? Absolutely not.
Nope, there's no way. I know from experience in the last couple months he would not. So stop calling unless you're serious. Unless you're trying to make a run at this thing.
Yeah.
Right? The confetti falling.
Listen.
The Lombardi in the sky. That's what we're after, okay?
Yeah.
That's what we're after.
So would I do it? Absolutely, I would do it. I told you two things. I'd have to be healthy, and I would want a chance to win a Super Bowl.
That's two pretty good factors.
Obviously, that's a tough thing to find. That's hard to do. That's not easy.
Can we just cut the crap, dude? Like, you didn't want to play for New Orleans anymore, so that's what last year was about, and now you want to come back, all right? And it's like, but it's got to be for a team that can win a Super Bowl. Oh, like, okay, man, like, welcome to every gambler's life. Hey, I would love to know who was winning the Super Bowl next year. I could make some money on it. Like, that. Like, there's no guarantees on any of that stuff. So the teams that are in need of a quarterback, I mean, you're not going to find a lot of teams in need of a quarterback who are a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Like, usually the Super Bowl winning teams have their quarterback. They've figured it out. Like, that's why they're in the spot that they are. So this idea that, like, it's got to be this perfect scenario and this perfect setup and it's got to be, you know, a chance to win a Super Bowl, how many of those are there?
Can I ask you a real question? How much was Carr missed this season?
I mean, I don't know, not all that much.
Not all that much.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about him that much.
We didn't really talk about him?
No.
No, like, potential returns or anything like that. Just,
I mean, in real time when the announcement came out, and then you started to look into the details a little bit more. You know, we were on the show saying, all right, yeah, he's coming back because it was, well, he needed surgery and he wasn't healthy, but the Saints really had no idea that he needed surgery on something, and then he waited to get the surgery, and then there was this story about he didn't want to, make all this money while he was recovering, and however they wanted to frame it, it felt like he was always going to come back. He just didn't want to play for New Orleans anymore, so he was trying to find the correct way to exit the place without being a jerk about it. But as far as the season goes, I don't know. I mean, I think they like what they got with Tyler Shuck. Like, Tyler Shuck played really good, especially down the stretch. And so the Saints are looking at it going, all right, well, if the future's now, then let's see what we can do here with Tyler Shuck.
I look at this, and I do not look at it. Obviously, we didn't think very much about Carr this season. It just was not what it was. I do not see him. Could he be someone who comes in and participates and contributes and potentially has success as a guy? Sure. But how much of a success? I don't know. I just think the youth movement is underway, and there's no real reason to, if you're talking about the way he's positioning it is correct, Jonas, because without demand, you cannot be a supply. So him sitting there saying, well, if it's not a Super Bowl opportunity, and this, that, and the other, forget about it. That's just basically, to me, that's just code word for, man, nobody really wants me. But if I can maybe possibly create a market, then maybe this thing could potentially work out for me in a positive way. Maybe. Yeah, to me, that's how I see this. I don't really see this as, like, is he serious? Yes, I think he is serious. I think that he would come back and he would play. But I think it's more about, is he wanted versus does he want to come back? Like you said, he didn't want to play for New Orleans. Didn't appear that he wanted to play for New Orleans. Who did want to play for New Orleans? But with that being said, well, I'm just saying. But with that being said, I mean, there's also the understanding and the idea that the season did move on, and it moved on without him. And so to me, at this point, it's a matter of is there a team that, like, maybe it's Minnesota? We always say maybe it's Minnesota, right? Like, until you get an answer with McCarthy, it's always going to be, well, could it be Minnesota?
So here are the teams that I think you could make an argument for Derek Carr. But there, again, it comes down to his, well, I'm not going to just play for anybody. I want an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. So if you just go in the same division, the Dolphins and the Jets, all right, not only are neither of those teams going to win a Super Bowl, it's more likely the LA Clippers would win a Super Bowl over the Dolphins and the Jets. Okay.
Damn.
Like that is
Doodle.
Yeah.
Gasolina.
It is the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. LeVar Arrington, Jonas Knox filling in for Dan and the guys. So the Cubs closer, Daniel Palencia, this is his song that he plays when he comes out to close games. And my son, when he pretends to be Daniel Palencia, he goes around the corner and he makes me play this song on my phone. And then he comes out and he closes out our make-believe games when he does this.
Do you hype him? Do you hype him when you do it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to.
Hey, bruh.
And then if he hangs one over the plate, it's going in the pool.
You got.
See ya, buddy.
You're the worst. You take it out of there.
Buddy.
You hype him up, get him going, but then you take it out. Cold-blooded. You got to take the strike, bro.
Okay, man, he's 4. He's got to grow up sometime.
Hey, if you can envision it, you can achieve it. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta hype them. You gotta hype when they have those moments. I used to have those moments, man. Front yard with my plastic helmet on.
Oh, it's the best.
Your outfit, your football outfit. I had Jim Plunkett. I had a Plunkett, and I had who Who was it? Was it Walter Payton?
Oh, the old Hutch uniforms.
It was a Bradshaw.
Yeah,
Plunkett and Bradshaw. I had the whole uniform.
That's what I'm talking about.
Football pants to the ankles.
Yep. The
plastic
socks. You got the socks
helmet.
with them.
Yeah,
plastic helmet. Yeah,
we was playing.
best.
I envisioned myself like playing like so.
I had a Neil Anderson
Oh,
Bears
nice.
one back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that. But
Nice.
by the way, he's at the point now to where, because for some reason he's got a cannon that it used to be funny when he would beam me with the ball and he does it intentionally. Now it's not fun anymore. Like now it hurts.
It hurts.
Yeah, it's like I don't need this. But from that over to this, and by the way, a quick reminder here, coming up in a little over 15 minutes from now, we're going to tell you about the latest lie that is being put out in the NFL. I find this hard to believe it would actually happen, but somebody's working really hard to try and make it happen. That'll be yours again a little over 15 minutes from now. You can watch along on the YouTube channel for the show at 2ProsFSR. We are simulcast right now, and if you are listening, you're also probably listening on the iHeartRadio app where you can stream us wherever you happen to be. Catch us on all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Search Fox Sports Radio on the app to stream us live all day, every day, and be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app, so it will always pop up at the top of your screen. So, Kevin Durant, and I just want to say this
Slim
before we
Reaper.
get started, okay?
Come on.
If this is true,
Oh no.
and he's behind this,
Yeah.
he's a weirdo. He's one of the biggest weirdos in sports, and he's got problems. If this is true, there's been some speculation that he is the guy behind a burner account.
Okay.
That made some noise recently.
What type of noise?
Well, the name of this burner account, and it was he sent some DMs to some people. So this is different. Like it's not even just accidentally being logged into the other one that he did the time before and sending some tweets out. These are DMs, in which he just kind of laid into his teammates. The name on the account is "Get Off My Dickerson."
Oh wow. Eric Dickerson?
No, I don't believe it's Eric.
Ron Dickerson?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
But it says the following.
Didn't he coach Temple? Ron Dickerson?
I don't know. Did he?
Let me look it up.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with
How good of a coach could you be when your last name is Dickerson?
Well, Eric Dickerson's one of the all-time great players.
Got that right.
Yeah.
So Dickerson
Love Eric
does
Dickerson.
work then.
But this from the Get Off My Dickerson DMs.
Get off my Dickerson. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I got it. I got the childish part of it out.
At some point,
let's be adults about this.
At some
All
point,
right,
you got to
come on.
grow up, man. This is a new audience. You can't,
And this was a
enough's
coach.
enough.
The Ron Dickerson was a coach.
Get back to
by
being
the
a
way.
professional.
All right.
So this from Get Off My Dickerson.
I will not laugh again. All right, here we go. Come on.
Coach called that play to pass to Alpi, meaning Alperen Şengün. LOL. I'm going to turn the ball over with this S-ass team. I don't give an F. Your franchise player can't shoot or defend. That's a way bigger issue than my turnovers. Remember, these guys are your future. All right.
Okay.
So the next one.
That's how you sounded when he was typing it. Like if he was saying it by the word, like it was his voice. That's how he sounded.
I mean, again, that's, maybe me trying to lead the witness here.
I mean, I want you to sound exactly how you you hear it voice-wise in your head when you read it.
All right.
All right, come on.
From Get Off My Dickerson. I can't trust Jabari to make an effing shot or get a stop. Guy writes back, just don't give him a tech. He writes back, he's low-key R-word. And the R starts with an R and ends with tarded, which I'm not sure I could say on the air. Well, hey, hold on a second. I didn't say it, Chris. Jesus.
Yeah, that hand went right on over there.
All
it was
right.
quick, too.
Safe than sorry.
All
right. Next up, some laughing, crying emojis. And then he goes on to say, does Get Off My Dickerson. I really got to laugh to stop from crying. I swear I miss Ben Simmons. Least that N-word would give me the ball. He then goes on to say, when somebody pointed out and put a screenshot of life with Devin Booker and Frank Vogel, he wrote, all this because Book return. two dictators, Stalin and Hitler, Mussolini and Kim Jong-un. The Suns are my team when we lose and Book's team when we win. That from Get Off My Dickerson via DM on X. Now, Kevin Durant, who we don't know is Get Off My Dickerson because this spread and everybody got a hold of this. Kevin Durant was asked about the scandal, if you will, and had this to say.
I know you got to ask these questions, but I'm not here to get into Twitter nonsense. I'm just here to focus on the season, keep it pushing. But I know I get you out to answer those questions. My teammates know what it is. We've been locked in the whole season. We've been enjoyed our break and had a great practice today. Looking forward to this road trip.
So, based on that response, do you believe that Kevin Durant is in fact...
When somebody does not deny it.
Well, can I at least present to you the question? Okay, I just want to be a fair moderator here. Based on that response, LeVar Arrington, do you believe that Kevin Durant is in fact Get Off My Dickerson?
Yes.
I'm going to be honest with you, man.
Play it back one more time. Just play the beginning of it. When you don't do something, you say, yeah, man, that's crazy. It's not me. Like, I didn't do that. Like, you got the wrong person. What? You're wasting your time. Tell me, do you hear him say no or answer definitively? Let me hear the beginning.
I know you got to ask these questions, but I'm not here to get into Twitter nonsense. I'm just here to focus on the season.
Translation, I'm Mr. Get Off These Dickerson.
Here's the part. I believe if I've got to bet one side or the other, and again, I'm a horrible gambler, absolutely horrible.
You are horrible.
Just atrocious. I bet on a horse one time that died at the starting
That's
gate.
crazy.
So it's not even like they had to bring out an elephant gun and put him down right in front of everybody, and he hadn't even raced yet. But so I'm not a great gambler. But if I had to bet on this, I would lean towards, and this is a slight lean towards, that's not Kevin Durant. Because I can't imagine that a guy with as much on his plate and as much going for him would take the time to create an account called Get Off My Dickerson and DM people responses like this. And then I find myself saying, oh, but wait, he's already done it before.
I was about to say, didn't he do it before?
Yes. So now I'm looking at this whole thing going, I don't know, man. Like, this is you got to explain to me, okay? He is a D.C. guy. He spent a lot of time in D.C.
Yep, I knew him younger right. KD. He used to come around to the sideline. Shouts out to KD.
This is weirdo behavior, man. This is weird.
It's just
I don't understand.
Again, the weirdo, I don't understand. We just spent a whole segment talking about this new era, this new age of athlete. And even though he's a little bit older than some of these newer age athletes that are out here, he's still part of the culture. He still influences the culture with how he is. He's very in tune to what's current and what's trendy. And I got to say, if you know KD, he's a jokester. He's not only a jokester, he's funny as all get out, bro. Dude is a funny dude.
I don't mind when he claps back at people on social media. I think it's hilarious.
So for me, when I hear these things, and it's like, if you've ever, and people from DC, DMV will know exactly what I'm talking about. He's not only a jokester and a prankster, and he's funny, but he is a serious trash talker. His trash talk is
great.
So I recall seeing him play in Berry Farms. Like, shouts out to Miles. I don't even know if Miles is still around. Hopefully he's still around. He ran Berry Farms leagues.
If you are Miles, you can find us on YouTube right now.
Yeah,
Two Bros FSR.
And if you listen to the show and you know, shouts out to all my DMV all days, Kirk Bone, all of them. You know what I mean? So I go to the games. I sit in courtside, watch the games. And KD, every time KD be in a game, KD could trash talk you down to the ground. I mean, some dudes just got the gift, and it blew me away because before I had met him and before I got to know him a little bit, I just thought he was this quiet dude that just walks around, says 2-3 words, doesn't say nothing, unassuming, like you don't get nothing out of him. So I'm sitting there on the sideline just flabbergasted. I'm sitting there like, what is going on? That's Kevin Durant talk. Like, he's talking bad to this defender. Like, bad. Told him about how he grew up, how it had something to do with basketball, his mama not loving him enough. Your ball handling skill, your defense shows how you was raised. I mean, it was so good. It was so good. So me knowing him from when I did know him and the things that I've heard him say, he even talked trash to me. We used to have like a competition, a trash talk competition about cars. I'd have a different car every time I come to the sideline, and he'd be like, yeah, you see what I got? You see what I got? You see what I got? I can't compete with his money. You know what I mean? I ain't got what you got. Shouts out to Rob Bassam, though. I did have Eastern Motors. Yeah, I had Eastern Motor Group.
What up, Rob?
What up, Robbie B? But he used to talk trash to me. Come into the restaurant, we chill, and kick it. And he talked a little bit of trash to me. So when I hear these things, it's like, for one, do I think it's him? It's probably him. But the thing about it is, here's the biggest question: do you care? Do you care, or is it entertainment?
It's weird. I think it's weird. I think he's a weirdo if it's true. But
again,
listen, I'm a weirdo.
Most of these dudes these days, well, you are a weirdo.
Damn.
But these new school cats are weirdos because you have to understand where they're living at right now, their mind state, their mental. How society is versus society is very different for you back then than it is right now, being current, an influencer, superstar, megastar. It's just different. They're all weirdos, Jonas. That's why, to me, it's just funny. When I heard you read them, it's funny. Like, oh, you going to go in their DM and get at them? It's funny to me.
Oh, I think
unless you're threatening lives or bodily harm or anything like that, if you're just trash talking, who cares? I think it's funny. This generation, they do things in a weird, different way. Their algorithm is way different than ours. I get it. So I don't put too much into it. I just think it's funny.
It's his social media behavior is a wild place to be. But
I think there should be more trolling the trollers that exist out here.
Oh, when he does it and he's not hiding, I think it's great. I have no issue with it. People are like, oh, you got better things to do. Like, what? Who cares? It didn't take that long to fire back.
But maybe I don't. Maybe I don't have better things to do. Maybe that's my better.
It is the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. LeVar Arrington, Jonas Knox in for Dan and the guys. Coming up next here, we are going to tell you about something that's going on in the NFL. You're going to hear one side of it. It might be a lie. That'll be yours right here on FSR.
The Hall of Fame class of 2026 was announced. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald,
nice class,
first-time inductees. Adam Vinatieri, Luke Kuechly, and Roger Craig. Finally getting in. So that was one of the, we talked with this with Albert Breer yesterday about this, that the thought is, hey, Belichick's going to get in next year. This is Roger Craig's last chance, so on and so forth. Maybe this is the opportunity, but congratulations to all those guys, all deserving of the award. And Roger Craig, after all those years, finally gets his opportunity and finally gets in.
There you go.
So, yeah.
I'll say this. This is my take on it. I think it's a fine class. There's no reason to have any type of hard feelings whatsoever about the class.
Hold on, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
So Vinatieri, is it a benefactor from certain scenarios that played out for the Patriots too?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's my question with the Belichick and Robert Kraft and then eventually Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to hold whatever transpired, whether it's Deflategate, Spygate, whatever you want to make
Then
up.
you got to do it against all of them.
Yeah, like that. I mean, are you just saying, okay, because Vinatieri's a kicker, like it doesn't impact him, even though it kind of does in some ways, or obviously sets him up to be able to succeed? Like, I guess that's where you draw the line. And by the way, he's a Hall of Fame player. In my opinion, all those guys should already be in. Kraft, Belichick, they all should be in.
So here's to that point. So to that point, here's what I say. If I'm in this draft class, in this Hall of Fame class, I would be irate, even though I'm relieved and I'm happy. I'm in the Hall of Fame. I would be irate because it's an asterisk. It's an asterisk year.
Okay, I think other guys are going to be irate because he's a kicker. And I'm not saying the kicker shouldn't be in, but you and I both know, like, players are going to look at that and be like,
my whole thing is Bill Belichick is on the docket to be a Hall of Famer.
Right.
I don't want to be associated. I don't want my class to be the punchline forever.
Yeah.
That Bill Belichick was not a part of this class.
Because the conversations about the guys that didn't get in.
It will always, and listen, Kraft is one thing. And for what it's worth, I'm looking at it from the perspective of how do you even set yourself to not put one of them in a year where they're in the Super Bowl? Like, that's a hard one for me. But then secondly,
especially Kraft to that point.
Again, we were joking about this. I did the comparison, the verses between Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft.
Yeah.
And in a shorter amount of time, the body of work of Robert Kraft is essing on Jerry Jones as an owner.
That's true.
Essing on him, and Jerry Jones went in 2017. But to take and not put Bill Belichick into the Hall of Fame, it just makes it a very difficult pill to swallow. And if I'm a Hall of Famer, a part of this class, your class will be the most memorable, one of the most memorable classes for a reason that is less than becoming. And I feel like that's doing a disservice to those guys. Roger Craig, it was a phenomenal running back. Larry Fitzgerald, all the names that are part of this, associated with this draft class, are phenomenal names.
Yeah.
Luke Kuechly, one of the best linebackers, football players, smartest, you name it, athletic, amazing football players, and all that will be literally remembered about this class in particular is how did Bill Belichick not go in as a NFL Hall of Famer? And there's no getting around it. And the people who dictated that should be ashamed of themselves, because you've given the sport a black eye based upon what accomplishment, what fame and achievement represents within the game of football.
I would say, with time, people are gonna forget all that, and as long as Belichick gets in, nobody's gonna remember it. But this was so egregious that it's still gonna be a conversation. Like I don't know that over time it's gonna diminish these guys getting in, but the conversation surrounding Belichick and the process and not getting in when the credentials are right there staring you in the eyes. It's just a bizarre.
It's bad, man.
It's bizarre.
Bad look.
Don't wanna complicate ya.
It is the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. LeVar Arrington.
Hi.
Jonas Knox in for Dan and the guys. Coming up top of next hour, first of all, we're going to tell you about how some fan base thinks this is a lie that is being told to you in the NFL. And then we're going to get into another potential lie that's being told. And it's being told in real time today. That'll be yours coming up here a little over 10 minutes from now. As a friendly reminder, we are being simulcast right now on YouTube.
Check us out.
So
Jonas
hello to
looks
you.
good. I look overweight. So
I don't.
If you want to see what obese overweight looks like, tune in.
What are you talking about?
You see my big old belly.
What are you talking about?
It's ridiculous. My man boobs. It's all right.
By the way, I'm wearing a jacket that's literally falling apart. Look at this thing. Like, it's literally falling apart.
You
in
can't
pieces.
tell. The camera can't see it.
You
look
know
good.
why?
You look nice.
Because it's black.
And I'm Drac.
So, Black and Drac will continue on top of next hour. But we do want to remind you, though, to check out that YouTube channel. It's 2 Pros FSR on YouTube. Again, that's 2 Pros FSR. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. Don't stop there. Hit the thumbs up icon. Comment away. Let us know who on the show you agree with, who you think is wrong. Check out our new channel on YouTube. Again, just search 2 Pros FSR and subscribe. The Kansas City Chiefs. They have done a little restructuring with Patrick Mahomes' contract to create some cap space. They converted over $54 million of his deal into a signing bonus. Not surprising. We've seen this done elsewhere.
Couple dollars.
They may also do the same with Chris Jones as well, too. They're one of the more interesting teams to watch this offseason heading into next season because the fan base doesn't want to believe, and people that love the Chiefs and love what they've done don't want to believe that it's over. But do you believe that based on what we've seen, the injury, the cap issues, the rest of the league, do you believe that the run for the Kansas City Chiefs is over?
Yes.
I think I'm with you.
But I told y'all that before this season. I thought the run was over.
And it's not to say they're not still going to be a very good team and not be competitive. But I think it just goes to show you, look, when New England went on that run in the early 2000s and won those Super Bowls, there was a long break between winning another Super Bowl. Like after the 17-0 or near perfect season that was spoiled by the Giants, they didn't win a Super Bowl for another decade. But they were still in contention. Like they were still either going to a Super Bowl or in an AFC title game. They were still there. They just didn't get over the hump. And I look at Kansas City and I go, even when they were winning the Super Bowls, it's not like it was Mahomes and the offense who was carrying them. It was really their defense.
It was really the defense.
And
we're being honest.
And I just look at it and I go, I'm not sure how much longer Andy Reid wants to do it. Who knows with Travis Kelce's future? You're going to need them to do something similar to what New England did. And I don't know that there's any other organization in football or maybe in sports who's done it the way New England did. And that's why I think I kind of lean in your direction there.
Kansas City can figure it out. They can, because they have a system, a process that has been created, and it works. It was created and worked in Philly. It didn't quite get them all the way over, but it was carried over and continued in KC, and it worked. Can they do it? They can do it. How likely is it? You know, I think that depends on how much energy, like as you mentioned on Andy Reid, how much energy he has left in the tank to put in the effort that is needed to be orchestrating that type of setup. So can they do it? Yeah, but do I think that their run has come to an end? Yeah, I thought it was slowly coming to an end, and then the injury to Patrick Mahomes, he won't be the same this year. I think it's a wrap.
Think Chiefs fans are going to be pissed off about that?
Yeah, they might be a little upset about it, but they're in the back of their minds like, yeah, he's probably right. They're probably right.
Could be worse. You could be this fan base. We'll tell you which fan base that is next here on the Dan Patrick Show on Fox Sports Radio.
We are Fox Sports.
up? It's Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
No pain, no gain, and I have dished out a lot of pain.
I played the game. The rules are still the same.
Hey, America, you want some sports? We got it for you.
Two Pros and a Cup of Joe is three guys talking sports, having some fun, and a great way to wake up in the morning.
Hey, listen, there's a lot of stats for us to get through right now.
We're here to break it all down for you.
I always hear that defense wins championships, but LeVar, I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding.
It's just one of those shows that gives you that feeling of, I'm talking to my friend anywhere you may be, a sports bar, a living room. As different as we are, it works.
When he scores his first touchdown, what will the celebration be?
It might just be a spike.
Yes.
He's going to D-row first.
Jeez.
They set their wedding date on the day of the Super Bowl, and the groom's trying to move the wedding now to get out of it so he can go see the game. Is he in the wrong here?
Let that man use them tickets.
Unbelievable.
We're like those three best friends that grew up together.
We've developed a chemistry. In case you missed it, LA's finest, that's right, everybody's favorite. Apparently had a few too many drinks last night. This guy's got a little bit of an issue here, huh?
Call a taxi.
I hear he has a weird infatuation with elevator rides.
There we go.
We're three brothers and we look identical.
Oh, wow. Really?
I totally agree.
Yeah. Wrap it up, let's go.
My guys.
Yes! Two Pros.
And a Cup of Joe.
More sports, more fun.
we go. It is the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. LeVar Arrington, Jonas Knox, in for Dan and the guys. You can hear LeVar and I alongside Brady Quinn weekday mornings before the Dan Patrick Show, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 o'clock Pacific, on Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. We will take you all the way up until the end of this hour, noon Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. You can listen on the iHeartRadio app. You can find us on hundreds of affiliates all across the country. If you're listening on the podcast, we appreciate you doing so. And you can watch us on YouTube right now. We are being simulcast on YouTube at Two Pros FSR. Go ahead and get a whiff of Black and Drac on a Thursday morning here.
Hey, I made some lamb loin chops yesterday.
Yeah?
Crushed it, bro. I got to say, I did a pretty amazing job of making them.
What was the inspiration for the lamb?
That's what came. We actually ordered some porterhouses, but that's what ended up showing up. I guess that's what was in stock where we got it from.
All right. I mean,
so we just went ahead and went with it. I said, hey, I've never tried it before. Had a little different taste. It has a different taste than regular like steak, but has the same type of look to it, just smaller, you know?
I don't think I've ever cooked lamb. I don't even ever think I've even thought about taking a peek at that or even giving it an opportunity.
Probably wouldn't happen if it didn't happen the way that it did. I made some oxtails the other day too.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, bro.
Because listen, St. Patty's Day is coming up around the corner, and we talked about this, the difference between cottage pie and shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
You know, shepherd's pie is, I think, has lamb in it. Cottage pie has got the beef. I'm more of a cottage pie guy. I've heard two different versions of that, so for those of you that want to argue it, but
shepherd's pies are really good, though. A
great.
really good shepherd pie really get the job done,
yeah,
man.
really good.
Yeah, you can feel really good about it, and it tastes better the older it gets, so you can run it all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like right before it gets to that point of where you got to throw it out, like that last day before expiration, that it's still going to taste its best because it had that opportunity to like just marinate, and then you're reheating it, and then there's, I don't know, something about it, man. Certain foods, it's just something about it. They taste better the next day.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm with
like
you.
Gumbo tastes better
Chicken
the next
parm.
day.
You can heat chicken parm up. Tastes fantastic.
Does it taste better the next day?
It's great. Chicken parm heats up great.
Okay.
Wouldn't recommend maybe like Chinese food. Doesn't seem to.
It's strange. It doesn't taste the same. Like fried rice, it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it does actually. Actually, Benihana's taste good the next day.
What up, Betty?
Benihana's tastes good the next day. I gotta say that. Okay. Anyway, enough about food.
So we opened up the show. We were talking about the off-season speculation that Maxx Crosby sit down with Caleb Williams, in which he gave him all sorts of compliments, and they were really, really complimentary of each other. If that was sort of an opportunity for them to try and speak into existence the potential of Maxx Crosby joining the Bears, if this was sort of laying the groundwork and the foundation for Maxx Crosby joining the Chicago Bears,
or at least create the conversation.
And there's been some reports out there. I think it was Adam Schefter who reported that the Raiders would seek 2 first-round picks and a position player for Maxx Crosby, similar to Micah Parsons. The problem is, Micah Parsons is a better pass rusher. Micah Parsons is also younger. Maxx Crosby's 29. He's coming off the injury. And I love Maxx Crosby. And the thing about Maxx Crosby is the numbers may not be the equivalent to a Micah Parsons
28.
or a Myles Garrett, but Maxx Crosby, the effort he gives you, he's a game wrecker. And, it's like a Julius Peppers. Like Julius Peppers may not have been, the biggest sack artist in the NFL historically.
He was a difference maker for the Bears.
And I mean, he just was
for years.
Crazy.
For years.
Crazy. Yeah,
for years.
Yeah.
So he made a big difference. And Maxx Crosby is that type of talent where Yeah, you'd have to assume you could get a good 4 to 5 years just based off of his will to compete, his desire to be the best that he can possibly be. You'll get 4 or 5 good years out of Maxx Crosby.
You remember when Micah Parsons first got to Green Bay, there were some complaints about, well, I mean, you're paying all that money, you gave up all that draft capital, where are the numbers?
He comes in, his back, he doesn't have numbers, this, that, and the other.
Just because the sack numbers weren't up initially, he was still setting other players up for success on the defense because of all the blocks he got, all the chips, all that. Like, it opened up so many other things for players. And Maxx Crosby's like that type of guy.
Well, he hadn't played either, so that's an extreme circumstance, right? That's an extreme situation where a guy that you didn't expect to be somewhere else ends up somewhere else. He hadn't played. He had been. It was like kind of a standoff, so he hadn't been playing. He wasn't like really. He did some participation, but not very. It was very limited in Dallas when all of those contractual conversations.
Because how dare he lay on a training table? He's laying on a training table.
Yeah, I mean, what else? You ain't paying him to play. You're not paying him to play. So I guess where else? He was there. Yeah, I mean, he had some nachos. You got to eat.
Yeah, he was eating nachos, right?
Nachos.
That's a great move.
Here's the thing, right? Is that, I mean, maybe he was sending a message, right? Like, this is nacho cheese.
Yes.
Get it?
I got you, man.
This is nacho cheese. It ended up being Green Bay. It ended up being Green Bay's cheese.
Hey, by the way,
just saying,
little
pun intended, maybe. I don't know.
A little pro tip for restaurants and anybody out there that makes nachos at home: you got to layer it. Okay, you got to put one layer of the chips, then the toppings on, then the next layer of the chips, and then the toppings on. If you just put all the toppings on top of all the chips, next thing you know, you got bare chips at the bottom. They end up getting soggy.
You got to have the bones. You got to have the structure.
It's just it's one of those. It's just one of those things you got to do the right way.
I bake mine.
You bake,
and then I put the cold stuff on there, like the lettuce and the tomatoes and the sour cream and the guacamole. But I bake it first. I bake them bad boys.
Good move.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
and then broil it. Broil the top of the cheese so the cheese is like real nice and like burnt. And then I put the other stuff on it when I take it out.
Damn.
Yeah, bruh.
That's how it's done.
Fire.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
You seem like you've got like a good plan in place when you're making all these meals.
I do.
You know what you should do?
What?
You should take over the job of getting the Bears a new stadium in Chicago. That's what you should do.
That may be a little bit more difficult, though.
Here's the latest on the subject of the place that maybe Maxx Crosby could end up going if you believe all the speculation that's
His
out
career
there.
might be over by the time they get that bill.
So the Bears released a statement earlier because there's been this speculation that they would go to Indiana to try and get a stadium done. That they would that Indiana wants to bring them in, and they'd like to bring in the Bears, and they've had all these, they sat down at all these meetings and discussions, and they put plans in place and all that. So this from the Bears, a statement from the Chicago Bears earlier. The passage of SB 27, which is the Indiana Senate bill that they put together, would mark the most meaningful step forward in our stadium planning efforts to date, the Bears said in a statement. We are committed to finishing the remaining site-specific necessary due diligence to support our vision to build a world-class stadium near the Wolf Lake area in Hammond, Indiana. We appreciate the leadership shown by the powers that be in Indiana. Their names are irrelevant. General Assembly in establishing this critical framework and path forward to deliver a premier venue for all Chicagoland and a destination for Bears fans and visitors from across the globe. We value our partnership and look forward to continuing to build our working relationship together. That from the Chicago Bears. The Indiana governor, Mike Brown, posted on afterwards and released a statement. So here we go again with this crap that has been going on over and over and over and over again. They tried this garbage years ago where they threw out Indiana as a potential landing spot. They tried it like all of this. And I remember, the great Mike North, sports talk radio legend, showed up in Gary, Indiana with a gas mask on.
We don't need to bring Jonas in.
As a bit. Fox Sports Radio alum. Mike North showed up to Gary, Indiana with a gas mask on because he had heard that there was a real odd odor in the city of Gary, Indiana. But now, here we go with the Maxx Crosby speculation to the Bears and the news, and the Bears having all this momentum coming off a successful season. We've got the Indiana possibility for a stadium to be rolled out. and I don't know how it lands with you because we're not in Chicago, but how would it sit with you if this team ended up building a stadium and playing their games in Indiana?
Okay, let's first of all, I think it really depends on the concentration of your fan base. Like Chicago is a lot of suburbs. You had the downtown, you had the city part of Chicago, but it's a lot of suburbs. It's burbs. It's like a whole bunch of them, like super large amount of different areas that make up these different suburbs of Chicago. I would say this is a study that the Chicago Bears need to get correct. Whether I'm right or wrong doesn't matter. I think what matters most is in trying to do this. So here are I guess the reported reasons as to why they would want to move and do a stadium somewhere else. Soldier Field is one of the smallest stadiums.
Yes.
That's one.
Correct.
It's old, super old, smallest stadium. Two, they want to dome it. They want to be able to do year-round mega events at this venue. So like what you were saying, in comparison to like what Jerry Jones created the model of Jerry's World and the Star and all that stuff, what they're doing. Then there's the idea of the tax. The tax is connected to it. Like, what are you paying in taxes in Chicago? What are you paying in taxes in Indiana? So there's that idea of it. How is it being monetized? It sounds as though they're trying to do a privately monetized stadium. So if they're not doing it through tax dollars, I would assume that they're looking at this from the standpoint of, if we're not using tax dollars to build this venue, then we want to have the best tax breaks that we could possibly get. That's what I would assume is the reason why. I don't know the tax situation in Indiana versus in Chicago, but I would assume that taxes are probably a little bit more lighter and easier in Indiana than they are in Chicago. I'm just assuming. That could be an ignorant comment, so don't hold me to that, but I'm just assuming. How much of your fan base is in Indiana? I asked you guys, how far of a drive is that from Chicago? You guys said 6 hours or something like that. If I'm a Chicago Bears fan and my home team of the Chicago Bears are playing 6 hours away, I'll never go to that game. That's just me. That's my take on it. I don't know, but if it were that long of a drive, depending on how long it is that we have to drive to get there, I think you're cutting yourself off to a very, very is it important? I should say, if you're a Chicago person, is it important? An important part of your fan demo? I mean, I think those are all questions that have to be answered, and it seems as though they're comfortable with it if these are the conversations that have been ensuing. Like the continued idea that it could end up in Indiana says to me that they see the value in taking a mega event center, not just where the Bears play, but a mega event center. So that means they probably would have parking, and they will control their parking and how that works, and other things that are, maybe they're able to do a nice practice facility. Maybe they're able. It's really a real estate play, is what it is.
Oh, of
Jonas.
course, and they've talked about they want to leave the lakefront and go to Arlington Heights because that's where there was an old racetrack that was there, a horse racing track, and they've got all the land there. And there's been this back and forth. The problem, and you can speak to this because, look, it's not far from Chicago. To get to Wolf Lake and Hammond, Indiana and all that, it's maybe like a 40-minute drive or something like that.
Oh, well, that's different. I thought y'all told me like 5-6 hours.
No, I forget what we were talking about. It was it was when Iowa threw out the idea of also putting in a bid for the Bears, and so we were saying, oh yeah, why not at this point? Like, why not Iowa? Yeah, in fact,
if it's only a 40-minute drive, you could probably take public transit. Somehow take the train to a certain place, take Uber or whatever.
All that's fine.
Bad.
And ultimately, if they decide to move to Indiana and it's a better deal for them, like what do I care? The Giants and the Jets don't play in New York; they play in New Jersey. Like what do I care? Like if they want to play there, we live here in Los Angeles. Everyone raves about SoFi Stadium. It's a gazebo. Like, if we're being honest.
You can't walk all the way around.
No, you can't. Like, on a certain level, it cuts you off, and you got to go downstairs to get to where you need to go. Like, the whole place it's a gazebo. So I look at the situation with the Bears Stadium, and I'm just reminded of this because, for a little backstory for people that are unfamiliar with the show, the year before Aaron Rodgers started playing with the Jets, Brady Quinn and myself were really excited about it. Rodgers is back. The Jets got a quarterback. It's this, and this.
Glad you said Brady.
And one LeVar Arrington said to us, telling you guys, you can't escape dysfunction. You can't escape it. And I look at this situation with the Bears, and I'm reminded as to what is happening with the Washington Commanders, where they had all this momentum, and there was all this stuff going on. Dan Snyder's out. He's gone. We're having discussions about, Jaden Daniels being the next big thing, and Dan Quinn, and they're back, and they're a game away from the Super Bowl, and they're all this stuff. And then all of a sudden this year happens. They've gotten rid of coordinator after coordinator. There's questions about Jaden Daniels' long-term future and health there. There's questions about Dan Quinn, what happened with Cliff Kingsbury. And you're just reminded, there's still remnants of that. And there's been some reports that have said part of the staff overhaul there is because maybe some of the old people up top who still want to have a say in decisions on the field still exists in Washington, even though it's a new regime. And I look at the Bears situation and I go, you finally won a playoff game for the first time in over a decade. You've got your quarterback of the future. You've got the head coach. You've got all this positive momentum. And then somebody knocks on your door and says, oh, by the way, here's more dysfunction for you. You're going to go to Indiana because we still can't figure out how to get an effing stadium done. Like, they can't get out of their own way. Like, it's just every time bad teams historically have an opportunity or see a little glimmer of hope or see a light. It's like trying to swim to the top. You go, oh my God, there's the surface of the water. And then you go, wait a second, let me stay down here a little bit longer and see what's around. Like, let me go ahead and take a look at one of these UFOs that's reportedly underwater. This is why bad teams, for the most part, stay bad for a long time, because they can't help themselves. This stadium should have already figured this out. There should have been all this stuff done, and still we're having this conversation. And as you mentioned, Iowa threw their name in the hat. Yeah. You got the lakefront. You've got Arlington. You've got Indiana. You've got the Bears releasing statements. Kevin Warren's going to have a statement that comes out. It's just some of these teams cannot figure out how to have success. They don't know how to do it.
You brought Washington into the conversation. They've been dealing with the same thing, and
they actually got it.
So it makes me think about the idea that these are. I wonder how much relationships is driving why it's so difficult for Chicago to get this project done. Washington D.C. was not going to support Dan Snyder and doing a new stadium. They just weren't. This wasn't going to happen. Relationship-wise, it wasn't going to happen. So I wonder, now they get new ownership, new type of energy, new type of people, relationships driving it, and now all of a sudden they get approved to do a new stadium where the old site of RFK was. So that's exciting and interesting news. I think it's great to bring Washington, D.C.'s football team back to Washington, D.C. I think there's something magical about them playing in D.C., even though I never played one game in D.C. Just the stories that I heard, maybe that returns and restores a lot of what was lost when they moved out to Landover, Maryland. As it applies to Chicago, I just wonder, is there a relationship friction between the people that are running Chicago in Congress and in local government? Is there a rift? Is there a long-standing beef between ownership and the relationships between the Chicago Bears and these people?
By the way, you'd have to imagine they're probably not on great terms with how long this has dragged on for. Like how long the negotiation is.
If you have a good relationship, you can communicate through things, right? You can talk through things. You can figure out something that's going to work for everybody, all parties involved. When things don't get done and they're drug out for as long as this has been, and there's so much indecision and indecisiveness on what it is that's taking place, you got to believe it's because people can't come together and talk through it and come up with a sensible, solution to what it is that's going on.
Yeah, it's a weird situation, but that is the latest. As there's momentum building towards the Chicago Bears actually building a stadium in Indiana and putting an end to this years-long battle between them and the city of Chicago. It is Two Pros and a Cup of Joe here on Fox Sports Radio, filling in for the Dan Patrick Show, brought to you by True Green. Don't waste another weekend doing your lawn care yourself. Partner with the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour and get a golf course quality lawn the easy way. Sign up at truegreen.com, then sit back and relax. All right, so coming up next here, somebody in sports has got a real problem, but they're trying to sell you on it not being a problem. That's yours here on FSR. But Nutrafol users, you know how effective this is. You know that it's personal. You know you need to feel inspired. So I ask you this. Which formula do you take? How long have you been taking it? Did you notice improved hair growth? All right. Did you see less shedding? Yes. How has it boosted your confidence or sense of self-care going into the new year? Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by 1.5 million people and beyond. Plus, it's also the #1 selling hair growth supplement brand. Nutrafol targets the key root causes of thinning in men, like stress, hormonal changes, because it's not just about genetics. Nutrafol men's supplements are peer-reviewed, 100% drug-free, NSF content certified, and clinically proven to improve hair growth, all without impacting sexual performance. And that's important. And if you're trying to build consistency this year, their subscription makes it easy with automated deliveries, free shipping, up to 20% savings, free 1-for-1 naturopathic doctor consults, and complimentary Headspace membership included. So skip the shortcuts and see thicker and stronger hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol for a limited time. Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code DanPatrick. That's code DanPatrick. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code DanPatrick. We were talking about the situation in Jacksonville involving Travis Hunter and sort of what's the plan here? Because they gave up a lot to draft a guy. They were all about, we're going to play him both sides of the ball. He's a unicorn. He can do all these different things. He's a hybrid, et cetera, et cetera. Then he gets injured. He misses majority of the year, and they had a great season. And, we kind of made the point last week of, man, you almost forgot about him. Like, I swear to God, late in the year, I forgot that Travis Hunter was on the team because of how well they were playing. They went on a heater late, and then they lost that close game to Buffalo in the postseason. And then the, story comes out that he gets the surgery. They're trying to figure out what to do with him. And Cameron Wolfe of the NFL Network spoke over the weekend about what the plan does look like now for Travis Hunter. Let's take a listen.
He will play both sides again in 2026. The big change may come in the usage. From what I understand, they plan to play him as a full-time cornerback, a part-time receiver, which is a switch from last year when he played more than double of his snaps at receiver than cornerback.
All right, so at least we have an understanding as to what it's going to look like moving forward, because the idea that you were going to get him to go same playing time or close to on both sides of the ball didn't seem all that realistic from a health standpoint, especially after he went through the injury this past season.
I mean, does this sound realistic? Even putting him at one of the other receiving or at one of the other positions part-time, at receiver position part-time, does that even seem realistic?
You think
Again, his body didn't hold up this year off of, there's a lot to being able to do what they're saying he should do. And it's like, I know he's gifted and I know he's a generational talent and you know that he's capable of being able to do it. That doesn't mean you necessarily do it, Jonas. Like, there are a few guys that I would say pretty much on a consistent basis, not like, oh, once in a blue moon. There are guys that could play multiple positions on both sides of the ball that play ball. It is what it is. Like, there are some real crazy phenomena. It's the funny thing is, some of them y'all may not even know their names. And they're just some of the most phenomenal athletes. I remember a dude, Horace Dodd, in college. He actually is the actor, one of the agents on Narcos, the black dude on Narcos. Yeah, he's the black, the agent on. His name's Horace Dodd. Dude was the most freakish athlete that you could see, and they couldn't figure out if they wanted to play him at tailback or at linebacker. Couldn't figure it out, and he ended up not being able. He didn't get on the field for either one. Now, Travis Hunter gets on the field, but I think the point that I'm making is I don't think they're doing him at this point. I do not think they're doing him a service, a justice, if they're playing him both ways on a consistent basis. If they're saying, like, spot duty, like different things, and Q brought up great points. Like, okay, you know what's coming when Travis Hunter comes into the game as an offensive player. You kind of have an idea of what they're planning on doing defensively when they bring him into the game. So to me, if you're putting them in there every once in a while, I get it. Like, that's fine. Let him eat. Let him cook a couple times on offense. But what they really need to do is focus in on him becoming a pro at the position that is going to make them a better team. And that's not CB and WR. It's not both of them at the same time. And that's no hate. That's just me. That's one man's opinion saying maximize what he brings to the table.
So you think on both sides, or are you saying just focus on one?
Hey, Jonas, if I'm being honest, and I asked TJ and Plex this on Saturday, which one is more impactful and which one pays more money? It's receiver. You used the number 2 overall pick on him. Play him as a receiver. If you want to put him in spot duty as a corner or as a cover nickel here and there, do that. But play him at receiver. Number 2 overall pick. How many corners go number 2, number 1 overall?
Well, that's why I bring up the question, because the reason he was drafted where he was at is because of the dual threat opportunity.
Don't wanna complicate ya.
It is the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. LeVar Arrington, Jonas Knox in for Dan and the guys. You can follow along on YouTube as well, too, at 2Pros FSR on YouTube. We're being simulcast right now. You can hear LeVar and I weekday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 o'clock Pacific, alongside Brady Quinn on 2Pros and a Cup of Joe before the Dan Patrick Show. And coming up here in, we'll call it a little over 15 minutes from now, we are going to close up shop with a little something we do on our show called The Leftovers. That'll be yours here on FSR. So there's been a lot of, we talked about the NBA earlier, and probably the most interesting story to come out of the NBA all season long was whether or not Kevin Durant had a burner account by the name of Get Off My Dickerson, which LeVar and I broke down last hour. And there's, the NBA's had kind of an interesting week where You've got the NBA All-Star Game. While it was improved, I think people still look at it and go, yeah, but can't we just do East versus West? We got to have 3 different teams, 4 different teams. What are we talking about? The NFL just ended, and this is how you're going to lead off. A lot of people now giving the NBA a little bit of love as this. So you got all that stuff going on with the NBA. And then on top of it, you've got this stuff happening when it comes to tanking, where the Utah Jazz got popped, I think, like $500,000 because they were leading in a game. They had 2 players who had combined for like 50 points, and then the Jazz decided as the fourth quarter started, they were just going to sit both guys. And you're seeing these teams around the NBA almost blatantly resting players and tanking. And so Adam Silver's trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube. He's been a doormat for the players since he's gotten there. And so he wants to stop tanking. And then a guy like Mark Cuban chimes in on social media and starts out this long-ass tweet and tweet storm that starts with why the NBA should embrace tanking. And he went on to just fire away his thoughts, and it was very well thought out. And just talked about fans know their team can't win every game. They know only one team can win a ring. What fans care about is their team's record. They want hope that they will get better, have a chance to compete for the playoffs, and then maybe win a ring. He says, who cares less about tanking? A parent who can't afford to bring their 3 kids to a game and buy their kids a jersey or their favorite player. Tanking isn't the issue. Affordability and quality of the game presentation are. All right.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
No, I wouldn't either. Like I think all of that is fair. And while his point and direction he would take it is, just bottom out. Like, if that's the case, if you're trying to get to that place, what's going to get you there faster is through the draft, through free agency. So why not bottom out? Me personally, if he's talking about hope and he's talking about a fan base that wants hope, I'd rather have a team that I know is at least in contention for the playoffs every year, even if they're a 5 or a 6 or a 7 seed, than some team who's going to give away all their players, acquire a bunch of draft capital, and hope that one of these lotto scratchers they get in the draft out of Lithuania turns out to be a superstar. Like, I would rather just be in contention. Like, you could say whatever you want about the Steelers, and you could say whatever you want about, when Marvin Lewis was in Cincinnati and the Bengals were going to the playoffs but not winning playoff games. Dude, at least they were in contention. At least they were there with an opportunity to win games and have a chance to try and achieve the ultimate goal. I'd rather have that than some team that's resting starters just hoping that they win the draft lottery so that they could potentially land the next big thing and maybe possibly get to a point where they could compete for a championship.
Yeah, singular players through the draft and also through, blockbuster trades can profoundly impact the fortunes of a basketball team. It's not as complex to try to build a winning team in basketball than in, say, other sports like football, because there's just so many positions, right? Like basketball, you play both sides of the court. It's not like you go down, you play offense, you come off, somebody comes on, you play defense, they come off, you go back, you play offense. You play offense and defense. You're supposed to be multifaceted. You're supposed to have every impact on the phase of the game. And so when you start looking at how you go about building a team, you're always going to look at what is the most amazing player available for you to be able to try to bring into your franchise. And if you can get that by tanking and getting a lottery pick, I mean, everybody wanted Wemby. Of
course.
I mean, there's
even the Blazers. They tried hard.
Everybody wanted LeBron James. People want what they want because when you get those type of players, they can transform your team into a competitive team. And so if you're tanking to try to get that type of pick and have that type of result, if you get one of those generational players, then now all you have to do is try to find the supporting cast. Now, you're going to need at least 1 to 2 more franchise superstar players in today's league to be able to get it done. A guy like Wemby can't do it by himself. As good as Steph Curry has been, and he wasn't even considered a franchise guy coming out of college, still, he can't get it done by himself. LeBron James can't get it done by himself. That's why there's been so much conversation and who's coming in, who's going out, who's coaching the LA Lakers during this LeBron James era of time. So yeah, if you can get a guy that is an anchor franchise guy for your organization, that's a rising tide for all ships in the harbor, right? Like, you're going to get jersey sales. You're going to get that experience that Mark Cuban is talking about for your kids. You're going to want to come out of the house to go see the games and spectate the games. You're going to want to go to events where you're able to meet the players and meet the star player. I think that's, to me, if you're looking at tanking because that's what your goal is to try to do. I mean, I have a hard time, while I don't like the idea of tanking, I have a hard time saying that tanking doesn't make sense in some scenarios and situations.
Now, the other side of this is Adam Silver is really against the whole tanking. As we pointed out, he popped the Jazz $500,000 for conduct detrimental. Ben Golliver was talking about this. He covers the NBA, and he spoke about what also could be some reasoning behind Adam Silver really trying to put his foot down on the tanking issue in the league, and it's got a lot to do with their partners.
Now you have guys who are sitting down in the middle of games that are potentially winnable. They're not playing in the fourth quarter because, teams are potentially playing for draft positioning. I think one real key aspect to this with Utah, if you're not playing guys in the fourth quarter, how many bets is that impacting, right? We know how much the NBA has gotten in bed with gambling. Over-unders are at stake. Player props are at stake. If coaches are just willy-nilly not playing guys the entire game and they're not letting people know in advance that they plan to do that, you're going to have a lot of angry gamblers and a lot of angry gambling companies as well. So I think that was one aspect to why he really had to lay the smackdown, so to speak, at All-Star Weekend.
So I get the concern for gambling and the impact of gambling on the NBA. But if you're going to base how you run your league on the gambling partners and the paranoia that comes along with it, then you should have never gotten involved with them to begin with. Because this stuff has always existed. That's what gambling's about. The best gamblers find an advantage, find a spot or a weakness, and they attack it. If you find out some guy's got an injury and you figured it out from talking to somebody close to him, like, you're going to lean into that. If you know that a team isn't interested in winning and they're going to rest players like the Jazz did, you can use that as some sort of an intel to handicap how the game is going to go. If they're basing all of their decisions
wouldn't that make it a little bit more difficult? I feel like it would make it a little bit more difficult if I got to work with the idea that you're benching some of your best players and the idea of, like, outside of the wins and losses aspect of it, like, but what do you, like, how do you figure out what the total over under is going to be, or what, or how many, the team that's going to end up eventually winning because you're tanking,
Fair.
how many they're going to win.
Again,
I feel like it makes the elements a little bit more difficult in the gambling world to be, if you're really looking at it that way.
And those elements have always been there. Like, there's always been an over under. There's always been a point spread. There's been prop bets. There's been all sorts of stuff that you could gamble on, but the issue is,
doesn't that even hurt you on the prop betting, right? Like, they took them out for the fourth quarter,
and you could also, and look, they've tried to put limits on some of this stuff, and different books do different things. Like, you have the issue is with the gambling stuff. And Adam Silver saw the money and the dollars attached to the gambling companies that come in. And let me tell you something, for people listening, it matters. Like, gambling companies have changed the game. I don't care if it's radio, podcasting, television, sports leagues.
That's where all the money's going.
It's huge. It's huge. But there's also, because of that, you've got a bunch of virgins, for lack of a better term, who've never gambled, who don't know anything about the world, and they see every gambling story as a threat to the establishment. Oh my God, it's a threat to the integrity of the game. Dude, Mark Cuban just said it. Hey, we didn't always tank, but we did sometimes. And that guy ran an NBA team. And that guy ran an NBA team who needed fans in the building and is saying after the fact, oh, yeah, we tanked games. Yeah, well, of course we did. Like, I get it.
But that's why he's the man, though, because he's willing to put himself out there and he's willing to let his fan base know, and which, by the way, is a very strategic move in the sense that they're aggressively approaching trying to repurchase the majority stake of the team again.
Right.
So,
I mean, listen,
think about the timing of that.
He's throwing it out there. Like,
yeah,
hey, if you want me back, at least I'll do it on the up and up, and I won't trade Luka.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, like there's
an easy way back in.
It's just I think people like start to attach gambling to the issues in the NBA and the issues of tanking. Dude, tanking's always been there. Gambling's always been there. You just know about it now. That's what the real difference is. And so if this is
they knew about it then. They just didn't want you to know they knew about it.
Yeah,
right?
and the officials knew about it too.
Yeah, everybody. Come on, everybody is in on it. That money was touching everybody, including owners. It's touching everybody.
And I'll say this right now, all right? Gambling is a wonderful thing for sports. And I've told you this, and I've said this before. If you want to make a game interesting, it is the hot sauce or condiment for your game. Like, oh, you're watching like when Terry Rozier got popped because some guy won $13,000 on a Hornets Pelicans game on a Thursday night. Dude, you know what? That guy deserves whatever money he made based on the fact that guy was watching a Hornets-Pelicans game on a Thursday night in March, okay? And why was he watching it? Because the hot sauce that he got to use to put on the game to make it that much more better, to make it taste that much better. That's exactly why. You better believe it. Yeah. So, Mark Cuban, Adam Silver, everybody relax. Gambling's not going anywhere, just like tanking isn't. It's always been here. It is the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. He's LeVar Arrington. I'm Jonas Knox. You can listen on the iHeartRadio app. You can stream us wherever you happen to be, so catch all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Search Fox Sports Radio on the app to stream us live all day, every day, and be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app, so it will always pop up at the top of your screen. And up next here, we're going to tell you about a scandal that you and almost everybody you know can relate to. And it's yours here on FSR. Hey, by the way, you remember there was that NFLPA NFL report card that came out? You remember where NFL players would basically
rated their facilities and stuff? Yeah.
So, yeah, that's gone. That'll not be happening any longer. The NFL won a grievance against the NFL Players Association, effectively banning the union from conducting and publishing future player report cards. The NFLPA announced that it will continue to do the report cards of players, but will keep those results away from the public.
Is that right?
So basically,
all right, give us the opportunity to hear how bad things are, and don't let anybody else hear it. Right?
Exactly.
That's,
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The whole thing. Well, first of all, the fact that, the player, we're talking about, what the players are going to stand up for, and they're going to get this done and that done and all these other, and it's like, they can't even win this. They can't even, they lost this one too. But on the subject of the owners not wanting this stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, yeah, we acknowledge that there are some problems, and we're not going to go get it fixed. We're just going to make sure nobody hears about it. It's like the whole thing makes no sense. Like, I can understand.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
But it goes to show you the level of power and control that the owners still have and continue to have. And that's why when all these conversations come up about what players are going to get and the collective bargaining agreement and all these things that they need and all these things that they want, and it's an 18-game season, but we need this and we need that. It's like every time I hear that, I'm just reminded with little events that happen in between, negotiation to get a new deal done, and realize, dude, you can't even like when the owners want something not to happen or to happen, they get their way every single time. And this is the latest example of it.
Well, because it's their league, Jonas. Like until there is something that happens and takes place that creates the reason for a shift, so to speak, this is how it will continue to be. And you would have to assume if it hasn't already happened at this point, I mean, why would it ever happen? Why would it ever happen? I mean, there's no reason for it to ever happen where the players have just as much power, if not more power, than the owners. It just doesn't. I don't think it tracks that way. It's not the structure. Give the ownership, give them credit. They built a structure that, to me, it endures the test of time. And whether people like it or not, whether people think it's fair or not, it's just what it is, man. And how does that change? You know, I really, again, why I think that it won't change is because if we haven't already had enough players of significant value, right, of significant value to have come through the doors of the National Football League to participate, to lend and lead to the league having more, the players having more of a say, it's never like there's never going to be a player more relevant than Tom Brady.
Right.
There's never going to be a player more relevant than Joe Montana. There's never going to be a player more relevant than you name it, right? Like you name it, Aaron Rodgers, whatever. So the idea of it to me is, if it hasn't already happened, I mean, Jonas, how do you ever justify it ever going in the direction of the player? I don't think it happens.
So the arbitrator who was on the case between the NFL and the NFLPA regarding these report cards, they said they found the report cards violated the collective bargaining agreement by, quote, disparaging NFL clubs and individuals. According to the memo, this from ESPN, the arbitrator found through hearings with the NFLPA's witness and counsel that the report cards were, quote, designed by the union to advance its interests under the guise of a scientific exercise. The NFLPA refused to produce data related to previous surveys, and the union's witness and counsel admitted the union cherry-picked topics and responses to include in the report cards. The memo also states that players had no role in the commentary included with the report cards, that it was written by union staffers, and that the union chose which anonymous player quotes to use or exclude. And the arbitrator also found that the union applied the weight to each topic and directly impacted the final alphabetical grade for each team. So, yeah, the NFLPA sort of skewed this in the direction of, hey, everybody, just so you know, these teams are doing a piss-poor job of this. These teams are doing a better job here. All of this stuff needs to get fixed. These are the issues. Here you go. And they rolled it out, and it made some headlines, and the owners are like, well, that's not fair. You can't do that. And, you know, took it to them, and now we're never going to get these reports to become public again. The NFLPA is basically
It's the Dan Patrick Show here on Fox Sports Radio. He's LeVar Arrington. I'm Jonas Knox, in for Dan and the guys. We're going to be back on the air coming up tomorrow. Same time, same place. 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 o'clock Pacific. Brady Quinn will be joining us. You'll be able to follow along on the iHeartRadio app. You'll be able to follow along on the YouTube channel as well, too, at 2ProsFSR. So for those of you that have enjoyed the show today, you can watch the show on YouTube again coming up tomorrow as well, too, at 2ProsFSR. And if you've missed any of today's show podcast-wise, you'll want to catch that podcast by searching 2 Pros wherever you get your podcast. Right after the show, today's pod will be posted. Be sure to follow it. Rate it 5 stars. You can even provide a review. Again, just search 2 Pros wherever you get your podcast. You'll find today's full show and a best-of version posted right after we get off the air.
Time to find out what's left.
Sounds incredible.
Here's the leftovers.
All right, so to find out
what we've not gotten to yet, we turn it over to our executive producer, the one and only Patrick Suika. Patty?
Hello. What's up, guys? It is time for the leftovers, and boy, I got one for Candy here that's not going to be good to hear. So we all like Reese's, right? For those of us that don't have peanut.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
I
Reese's
love
peanut
Reese's
butter
Pieces.
cups.
That was Patty's go-to on the plane to Super Bowl. He was getting Reese's.
Shush.
Reese's cups are good.
No
too,
way that you remember that.
Yeah. Well, he's going Reese's. Nice.
I actually did. He's not lying, everybody.
There and back.
Nice.
Dang. That said, everybody, here's a Reese's related thing. So, the grandson of inventor of Reese's peanut butter cups has lashed out at the Hershey Company because he's accusing Hershey's of hurting the Reese's brand because they're going to cheaper ingredients and, as I quote, cutting corners on Reese's. In fact, there is actually saying a report was that the company has replaced the milk chocolate with a compound coating like a chocolate candy. And it's not peanut butter, it's, peanut creme. Cream, but C-R-E-M.
Ew, sounds
creme.
Ew.
So
yeah.
not,
sounds ew.
It's not real milk chocolate or real peanut butter.
So it's just not a real Reese's is what he's trying to say. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so now when did this start? Do they have a start date of when things changed with the Reese's and they got fake, according to this report? Because, and here's, I would argue this. I don't know how you feel about M&M's. I think Reese's Pieces are better than M&M's.
Absolutely.
Bro, not even close.
What?
Reese's Pieces are it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're better than M&M's.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Now, peanut M&M's, another story.
Okay, fair.
Peanut M&M's versus Reese's Pieces.
It's still not, no. I still don't mess with Reese's Pieces.
I'm with you, man.
There's something special and magical about, like, they caught something, they broke the mold with Reese's Pieces.
Listen, man, it was the only way they could lure E.T. out of that work shed.
E.T. phone home.
Imagine that. Like E.T. looked like Johnny Manziel on one of his benders back in the day, and they lured him out of a work shed by dropping Reese's Pieces on the ground.
Dang.
That's how effective that candy is.
Oh my god.
It'll get you going.
Yeah.
All right.
What do we got? What else we got, Patty?
All right, so we're going to actually go back to the...
Come on, Patty.
So we have an NFL-related one here. It's not Reese's Pieces or candy-related, but we actually have something Houston Texan-related. So John McClain is a longtime beat reporter for the Houston Texans here. He's actually recently, in fact, 2 days ago, went on record to talk about C.J. Stroud. He is adamant and confident that Stroud will not be traded from the Texans. In fact, he went on Twitter, and I quote, "If C.J. Stroud is traded, I'll walk naked down Kirby Drive at rush hour. Is anyone else willing to do it if he's not traded? Didn't think so." End quote.
Now, you mentioned something, Patty, during the break. Did he also make the same claim when Deshaun Watson was potentially?
He didn't say he would run down naked with Deshaun Watson, but he did. What was it? NFL fans actually pointed out that he was proven wrong before on Deshaun Watson. He declared that he had a better chance of becoming a head coach of the Texans than the team trading at the time of Deshaun Watson quarterback.
I don't see why. Not with that information that was connected to that. That's a bold claim.
Yeah, really bold. The C.J. Stroud getting traded stuff, I get why. This is like the Maxx Crosby stuff we opened the show with. It's all about that thread. The offseason NFL stories, drafts coming up. This is when the rumors start to circulate. C.J. Stroud has shown you enough to where why would you move on from him?
You keep him. And we're done with this show, though. That's what we are.
We're out?
We're out of here, man.
We back tomorrow, though?
I'll see you tomorrow.
Damn right.
I guess I'll see you tomorure. We'll come back.
And on YouTube.
I mean, it was good. I looked really, really beefy and fat, but you look good at least.
No,
you look a little Dracula though, a little pasty, but oh no, black.